Welcome to the channel, to the YouTube channel, the official channel of David Aggayu, Dr. David Aggayu. Oriaté, David Aggayu. Tonight we're going to be talking about spiritual awakening. We're going to be talking about how to become a better spiritist, how to talk to your spirits. We're going to talk about how to communicate with the hereafter. We're going to be talking about how to interact with your spirits. Guarantee you it's going to be a great life. It's going to be a hell of a life. If you stay, if you take some notes, and if you open your mind, your ears, we will be having a lot of fun learning a lot from this YouTube live, YouTube streaming that we're going to be doing tonight. So if you're interested in the spirit world, in the spiritism world, if you're interested into, sometimes it takes a shovel. It takes a shovel to get to be where you really want to be, because ain't nobody going to give you nothing. You got to go and take it yourself. You got to go and grab it. If you wait for, thank you, no flow Kineline. Thank you, bro. It takes a shovel, but it's really worth it. You know, I always tell my students at the school, I always tell my followers that Spiritism, it's one of the most complex. Oh, blessings, Alex. Tomorrow I'm going to be in the Botanica, so if you want to swing by. I always tell my students that Spiritism, it's one of the most sophisticated, well-diverse, and complex section of this religion. You know, anybody can be an Olorisha, anybody can be a palero, anyone can be a babalao, anyone can be, if with hard study, you can be an Oriaté, but not everyone has the potential to become a spiritist, because to become a spiritist, you need to put, am I pronouncing it the right way? My pronunciation? How's it going, Jose? Is that how you say espiritista? Spiritist? Come on, guys, help me out here. Help me out here. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. And today I come with a little bit more loose than yesterday. Today I'm gonna try to make this a little bit more flow. Spiritist? Okay, thank you very much, Ingray. So let me ask you something. And don't answer it out loud. I'm going to ask you something. This is a serious question. Thank you, Marcelino. Have you ever felt like your life is almost aligned, but something invisible keeps pulling you off? Something invisible, something that you cannot see, keeps pulling you off course. You know, like you're doing a great work. You feel like you're doing a good work, a good job. You're making the effort. You're praying, you're thinking, you're studying, you're pushing, yet results come late. They come halfway or not at all. So tonight I'm going to talk to you about something most people don't even know exists. And the few that do understand about this matter, this subject, they never talk about it openly because they don't want you to learn it. Because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And what I'm sharing you today explains why some people advance effortless. Oh, I don't know how to say this word. Hold on, give me a second. Some people advance effortless. Hold on, let me put Google Translate, because sorry guys, but it's little by little. Effortlessly.
Effortlessly.
Effortlessly. Effortlessly.
Effortlessly.
There we go. Effortlessly. You know, Google Translate have become lately my best friend. Thank you, my amor. I love you, my great wife. So, why some people advance effortlessly and others don't, even though you are doing everything right? Please, guys, on TikTok, share the live with your English speaking friends and know that this entire life is going to, we just started the life right now. Know that this entire life is going to be recorded on my YouTube channel. We're live on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel's name is, I'll show you my YouTube channel's name, because starting on January, I'm going to be streaming only on my YouTube, starting January. Okay, TikTok, this is my YouTube channel. I'm live on my YouTube channel right now. So, you know, I'm trying to reach out to the English, religious English community speaking. I'm going to speak about Spiritism because today I saw a video today, and it's just funny how people have a very clever way to accredit themselves knowledge that they did not wrote, that they didn't do, and it's just sad when you, it will be so beautiful to talk about something and name the swords. It will be amazing, you know. It shows respect, it shows ethical, it shows moral, it shows humbleness. But why other people stay spiritually tired, spiritually tied, and why destiny does not respond to effort alone. Destiny does not respond to effort alone, guys. You see, if you have ever wondered why your path feels delayed or why certain circles repeat no matter what you do, and every year is the same life circle, same life circle. Si me pudieran dar un like aquí en YouTube, se los voy a agradecer. If you can hit the thumbs up like, guys, on YouTube, I'll be greatly appreciated. So if you have ever wondered why your path feels delayed or why certain circles repeat in your life, no matter what you do, stay with me. Stay with me, because halfway through this life, I'm going to connect something ancient, something personal, something you're living right now in a way that will make sense of things you have questioned for years. So this life is not about motivation. It's not religion. It's not theory. This is called spiritual alignment. I'm going to teach you how to have spiritual alignment. Something that a lot of godparents do not teach you. Why they don't teach you this? Because they want you to be doing a bowl every single day, every single time, kill a bunch of chickens, kill a bunch of birds, this, and that. And every time you go back to your godparents' house, to your elders, you know, sometimes we don't even respect our parents. We want to be kissing our elders' ass. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my French. But we got to learn how to respect our real elders. We got to learn how to respect our fathers, our mothers, our grandmother, before we have the decency to be wanting kissing somebody else's shoelaces when they're just stealing our money all the time. You know, and every time you have a goddamn problem, you got to kill 3,000 goats, 55 chickens. You got to receive all these orishas. You got to do all this voodoo stuff. And every month is the same thing. That's not the way it works. You know what I'm saying? Most important prayers. We got to know the three most important prayers that you need to learn by memory is the Holy Father, the Hail Mary, and the prayer of the, how do you call that? The shipwrecked, the oración del náufrago. You know, Holy Father, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed by the name, the kingdom comes, that will be done on earth as it is said. Padre nuestro que estás en los cielos, etc. You know, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among all women, and blessed has the fruit of your womb. Ave María purísima, sin pecado concebido. You know what I'm saying? We Today, I want to talk to you about something fundamental, in the religion, the relationship between the living and the dead, and the sacred work of the spirits of us as medium, as spiritists. You know, since the beginning of time, guys, humanity has been fascinating. Thank you very much, Marcelino. Appreciate you, man. Showing some love. You know, humanity has been fascinated by this connection that transcend transcends death itself. And across cultures and traditions, we have built monuments, we have performed rituals, we have kept the memory of our ancestors alive, not just to honor them, but to reflect on the deeper meaning of our existence. And this is where Spiritism enters the picture. Spiritism, you know, a lot of people say Spiritism is not, real Yoruba. It's not real Isese. Listen, guys, that's all nonsense. Every culture has its own way to praise ancestors. Whether it's Isese, whether it's shamans from Mexico, whether it's voodoo, whether it's hoodoo, whether it's Catholic, every culture have developed their own way of praising ancestors. And if you read a little about sociology and social anthropology, you will understand this, and we will criticize a little less. You know, what makes you think that people that practice Egungun kosher and not kosher rites and ceremony Egungun and Isheshe, what makes you think that they're right? Who are they for them to be right? What makes you think they didn't copy that from the Benin, which is older? Republic of Benin are, 1,852 years older than Yoruba people from Oyo. You know, what makes you think, so at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong. At the end of the day, Dr. David coming in hot with the English lives for our English speaking community. Yes, Maxelino, yes, for sure. You know, at the end of the day, it all comes down to traditions. And we have a tradition, you have a tradition, and traditions, the way we could connect with the hereafter, it's by honoring our ancestors. And you don't have no Nigerian ancestors. Now, come on now. You don't have no Nigerian ancestors. Your ancestors are from the country you were born. Well, maybe if you go back to 5, 6, 7 generations, maybe yes, from Africa, Europe, Italy, France, Nigeria, maybe, yeah. But you're close. We go, our spiritual realm goes back to 9 generations behind us. But those generations, the ones that inflict in us, the ones that can do good, the ones that can do, powerful stuff, are the closest 3 generations. That's our real ancestors. My ancestors are Afro-Cuban. Afro, I don't finish the can, African. No, Afro-Cuban. Afro culture does not belong only to Cubans. In the transatlantic slave trading, beginning on 1502, got to Cuba in 1508, got to Mexico in 1541, got to Panama. Yeah, life is pure English today. Got to Panama in 1561, got to Haiti in 1531. African traditions spread from all over the world. Cubans don't own the religion. Americans don't own the religion. But I don't want to go out of the way on the topic. Let's stick to Spiritism. Spiritism, it's more than just a belief. It's more than Allan Kardec. It's more than the African used to practice Spiritism in their own way. They did it through Gelede culture. They did it through masked ceremonies. They did it through Egungun ceremonies. They did it through Akfuamikpa ceremonies. They have more than 15 ways to praise their ancestors. It's not just Egungun culture. It's not just Egungun. Why and the followers who are Latino and do we pay for subscription? Why and the followers who are Latino and do we pay for subscription? Well, no one is asking you to subscribe to nothing. Talk. Are there any book in English? Yes, out of my 47 published literatures, 10 of them are available in English in my personal official website, which is www.davidalagayu.com. That's my personal website. And YouTube también is in English. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to talk in TikTok in English and YouTube in Spanish at the same time on the same day. It's impossible. Come on, guys. Make some common sense. So, you know what I'm saying? Spiritism is more than a belief. Spiritism, it's a doctrine. It's a practice. It's science. You know, Allan Kardec used to say in his book on Communicating with the Spirits, in the page 151, he said in the second paragraph that Spiritism is the practice of communicating with the spirits through spirituality and understanding them through science. So Spiritism, it's spiritual and science. Real Spiritism has to do with spirituality and science and philosophy. And a philosophy centered on the communication between the living and the spirits of the deceased. You know, through mediums and spiritual practices, we can receive guidance, support, knowledge from those who have crossed over. Now, what exactly do a spiritist do? What exactly does a spiritist do? The spiritist, we serve as a bridge between the material and the spiritual world. You know, and this includes working with the mediumship, channeling messages from spirits. It involves spiritual healing through our energy work, herbs, cleansing rituals. And Spiritist also teaches, leads ceremonies, offers counsel to those in difficult times, serve the community, and even conducts research into spiritual phenomenon. Now, for those of you that have been told that you cannot become a spiritist, that you were born being a spiritist, that's a completely lie. Tonight in this life, I'm going to demonstrate you, I'm going to convince you that the only way you can practice Spiritism is by learning Spiritism. Teach your brain how to practice Spiritism. Delve into the spiritual world by studying, by reading it, by doing spiritual sessions, by putting up. And in this life, I'm going to talk to you a little bit on how to put up your spiritual white table. And I'm going to also talk to you about a book that I have that is called How to Become a Medium in Spiritism. Because this book that I have, that apparently I just came to find out today, that a lot of English speakers have purchased this book, have read it, and they're doing little AI videos of the image that it belongs to me, the content on this book. This book is not Allan Kardec. This book is not from any other author, you know. So all the positions, the 21 sacred positions from the spiritual white table belongs to this book. You see? You see? So now there's, you know, little videos here and there. That's why I said it's sad when you get the knowledge and you don't give credit to the author. And here's what I think you need to understand. Here's what I would like for you to understand. Spiritism teaches that we're not just physical bodies. We're immortal souls on a continuous journey of evolution. You know, death is not the end. Death is just a simply transition to another stage of existence. Our loved ones don't disappear, they just continue watching over us from another dimension. Living as a spiritist means embracing an ethical life based on fraternity, charity, and service to others. So every act of kindness, it contributes to our spiritual growth, to our ashe, and the harmony of the universe. You cannot be a good spiritist and be, a bad person. It just doesn't work like that. Because you will be going against all the prayers that we need to say in, in a spiritual mass. So this life is an invitation to explore deeper into the spiritism world as a path of peace, love, and conscious evolution. You know, Spiritism is a path of deep connection between the material world and the spiritual world. Through communication with the spirits, this doctrine seeks to guide, to heal, and help us understand the soul's transcendence. How do you pronounce that word? Transcendence. 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 Oh shit, I said it right. Lucky day today. Sorry, excuse my French, guys. Okay, so yes, through communicating to transcendence and its true purpose in life. But for this connection to happen effectively, and that's what I teach at our schools. That's what we teach at our schools. All of our 7 schools are available in Spanish and English because we have a live translator. As I speak throughout the whole class, we have a live English translator. And we teach that for this connection to happen 100% effective, blessings, my godson Nelson, we need to understand the principles to us. We need to understand the principles. We need to understand the practices that sustain it. We need to understand tools, because understanding is the key to success. There's nothing you can do with knowledge. There's nothing you can do with wisdom. There's nothing you can do with having the best elder out there with a lot of knowledge if you do not understand. Understanding is the key to open all doors, physical and spiritual. And that's exactly what this life is going to offer you. This YouTube life that I'm doing right now is going to offer you. I want to offer you a detailed guide covering everything from the preparation of the spiritual vault to performing masses and protections. I want to explore spiritual transmission with you today, tonight. I want to speak to you about the sacred herbs, sacred sticks, proper arrangement of elements within the vault, and the different methods of protection and purification. People think, oh, I'm going to put my spiritual white table. I'm just going to put a table, white cloth, 6 cups, 1 copa, a Christ, a cross, and that's it. No. That's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. The goal is to preserve the tradition while making them practical and accessible for anyone who wants to strengthen you know strengthen strengthen their connection with the spiritual realm. So let me be clear about something important. Spiritism is not just a ritual. When you see Spiritism has Orisha practice, which is an ABC ritual, you just got to have good memory and study a lot. And when you see Spiritism has Ifa practice, which is just ritual, and when you see Palo Mayombe, a Spiritism has Palo Mayombe practice, which, yeah, it's 50% spiritual, but it's another 50% ritual. That's where you're going to fail. And we've been failing all of our religious life. Because yes, you have 10 years of Ocha, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Now my question to you is, what you have done? What have you done in this 30 years in the religion? Who have you saved? What have you accomplished? Yes, 30 years in the religion. So, what have you done with those 30 years in the religion? How many books have you read? Entire books, not just 20 pages, entire books. You know, it's a way, Spiritism, it is a way of life, guys, that demands respect, commitment, deep responsibility. You know, the spirits, the Spiritists, we are a channel. We are a bridge between both worlds, and their preparation, both physical and spiritual, it is essential for carrying out this work effectively. So whether you're beginning this path or you have been years, you have years of experience in the Spiritism world, this life is going to be a companion for your learning, for your spiritual evolution. The knowledge shared in this life, the knowledge shared in my schools, the knowledge shared in this book, which is where it's the 21 pictures of all the different cups and positions. All those pictures that you are seeing in those TikTok accounts, all those different position of cups that you're seeing on all those TikTok accounts with those AI video that they're creating, all those pictures belong to my book number 43, 43rd. It's called How to Become a Medium in Spiritism. This is by far one of the best, tonight, to be a little modest and not say the best, one of the best literature, one of the best books on practice, how to become a good Spiritist, with all the pictures of all the different positioning, cup positioning. You know, it's not 3, it's not 6 advanced, like you guys are titling your little AI videos and copying content. It's 21 cup position. And I'm going to speak about those 21 positions in this video right tonight. How does that sound? So, you know, the knowledge shared here tonight is going to be a spiritual legacy that has endured through time, and it's in your hands and it's in my hands to preserve it, respect it, follow it with devotion. If you started the religion with Spiritism, you know, you can like Muslim, you can like Ishesha, you can like Santeria, you can like, but you will never forget an old friend. When you forget where you come from, you lose track onto where you're gonna go to. And to understand this, we need to understand principles of Spiritism. You know, blessings, Isita. One of the keys to be a successful Spiritist is understanding Spiritism principles. So let's talk about the fundamental principles of Spiritism first. First, we are spiritual beings. Our existence transcends physical life. There is a spiritual plane inhabited by entities, so we can communicate with the spirits through mediums, us, through automatic writings, and through many other tools that I'm going to be sharing in this life. down the life. You know, guys, and reincarnation is part of the soul's progress and evolution. In this life, I'm going to speak the difference. I'm going to speak out the difference. I'm going to talk about the difference. Guys, make sure you follow me on YouTube, because starting January 2026, in a month, I'm going to stop streaming in all social media platforms except YouTube Live. I'm going to teach, guide the English. I committed myself to the English community speaking religious people, and I'm going to offer you in 2026, I'm going to offer you 17 years worth of knowledge and more than 4,000 videos that I have done in Spanish. I'm going to do them in English now for you guys. So, yes, reincarnation is part of the soul's progress and evolution. In this life, I'm going to speak to you about the difference of the soul, the body, the spirits, the perispirit spirit. I don't know if I pronounced it right. Because Spiritism manifests in three aspects. Spiritism manifests in three aspects. Thank you, impressive Aggayú. Spiritism manifests in the phenomena that shows the presence of spiritual entities. In the philosophical teachings that explains the relationship between physical and spiritual planes. And the third is the deeper reflection on the destiny of the soul. You know? And where do spirits live? Where do spirits live at? Well, spirits, they inhabit in space. But in which space? In which dimension? So they have no physical form and move with the speed of thought. You know? That's why sitting regularly at the spiritual vault, it's so important, guys. The more you concentrate, the more clearly spirit will manifest. So what exactly is a medium? You know, a medium is an intermediary. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Is an intermediary between the spiritual world and the physical world. A medium is a channel through which spirits communicate with the living. So there are three main types of mediums. Three main types. The clairvoyant who received information through visions. The incorporative medium who allows a spirit to manifest through their body. And the clairsentient. I don't know how to pronounce that one. The clairsentient.
Clairsentient.
The clairsentient. The clairsentient. You know, and the clairsentient, it's who perceives energies through physical sensations. So here's something crucial, guys. Developing, and that's what I teach at my schools. Every day, all day, every day. Developing mediumship requires consistency and discipline. Everyone is able to be a medium. As Allan Kardec used to say, you must train your mind and strengthen your connection with the spiritual world. And this means practicing meditation. Guys that are connected on YouTube, if you guys can share this live on your Facebook account so your English speaking friends can know that we're doing an English YouTube channel right now and sparing a lot of good information and wisdom because this means that practicing meditation at the vault of the vault, developing emotional balance, strengthening your intuition, and working spiritual guides. Now, let me address something important. Who are born to be a spiritist? Who is born to be a spiritist? The answer is simple. Every every human being is born to be a spiritist, and a damn good one too. The fact that you just want to be lazy, watching movies all day, being on WhatsApp, and doing 90% of what you do a day is non-productive, then that's a different story. But as long as you have a soul, you have a spirit, and you have a body, and you have a perispirit, and you have a brain, those are the main 5 things you need to become a good spiritist. And as long as I know, as far as I'm concerned, all human beings have soul, spirit, brain, and the whole 9 yards. So every human being is able to become a good spiritist. If you're capable of transmitting energy and have vital signs, you can be a spiritist. And in this book, I go deep into that explanation, and I teach you step by step on how to become a good spiritist. And so has my schools. So, think about it. Have you ever felt goosebumps when sensing a presence? Have you ever seen shadows? Do you have a shadow of your own? Have you predictive dreams? Have you felt sudden temperatures changes or mood swings? So, sense someone energy. Have you sensed someone's energy before they spoke? Have you had deja vu experience before? Yvonne Rodriguez. That is the book that they're copying on TikTok. Yes, there's a lot of people getting pictures of my book. They put it into AI, so AI can reconstruct and make the image look different, and they posting it as its own. Guys, it's fine. I mean, knowledge is to be shared, but there's nothing more beautiful than give the credit to the author. I mean, it's all right to give credit to someone. When we give credit to someone, that gives credit to us. It makes us more intelligent. It makes us smarter. It gives us ashe. And it gives us more credibility, because right now, if you share a picture from my book, let's say this, people are going to act like they know we're the same, but there's no, and I'm going to show you guys real quick. The author, the 100% author, and the person that first came up with the 21 sacred bóveda position, and I'm not going to say the secret on how I came up with it, because it's not something that I invented. Coming up with something and inventing something are 2 different things. But the first one that ever spoke about this was me. Welcoming position. You see? Welcoming position. Welcoming position. This position is for us to welcome a spirit to our spiritual table. Yeah, people do it all the time, Carlos. I mean, Carlos says it's fucked up. I mean, I don't see it that bad. It's all right that you take someone's content and share it with your followers. Just give credit to the person. It's not going to make you look bad. It's not going to give you less credit as a religious person. It's going to make you look better. Because right now, if you come up with this in social media, I personally will be like, where the hell did you come up with that image? Who in the world told you that this is the position for liberation and release earthly attachments on your spiritual vault? And the reason I'm showing this is because at any moment, they're going to pull this up. They're going to show this on TikTok, you know. But if you want the full legit version, how to become a spiritism, how to become a medium in spiritism, has about more than 200 pages. So spiritism is not an exclusive gift for the chosen few. It's not. It's a faculty. How do you say? How do you pronounce faculty? Faculty. Spiritism is a faculty inherent to all human beings. There is no limitation based on gender, age, social class, skin color, sex preference. Everyone can develop this ability and everyone can become a very good spiritist. What is required to become a goddamn good spiritist? What is required? Well, two things. First, study and learn the concepts of spiritism so you can identify and understand what you are experiencing. Second, practice. Sit at the vault regularly, pay attention to the spirits, trust yourself. That's all you need. You just need, let me put this phone to charge. You just need to you need to learn. So I have my 7 schools. You're more than welcome to join us. We have over 1,000 students in 35 different countries. You subscribe on my website, you enroll on my website, you start on Monday. We give classes at nighttime, and if you're working or you cannot assist to the live Zoom, that live stays recorded. That class stays recorded for a full month. We will give you PDF, transcripts. We will give you the video. You get the whole 9 yards. So we're all on the right path. Let's let go of the fears and false beliefs that say that only a few are chosen. Here we choose ourselves. One of the most common questions I hear is, spiritists are born, spiritists are made. Is it true that Shango's kids shout or are scared of spirits? No, it's not. That's insane. That's just insane. It's absurd. So when you ask yourself if spiritists are born or we're made, the answer is both. I mean, all human being possess extrasensory abilities. The difference lies in how much you develop and practice these faculties. We all are born with extrasensory, I think,
extrasensory.
We all are born with extrasensory abilities. The difference lies in how you decide to develop. If you want to be a spiritual lazy person, or you want to develop that faculty. So consistency in meditation, consistency in participation in spiritual sessions, in your own house with your own spiritual white table, and the prayer, the lighting, the candle, the concentrating at the spiritual vault, these are the keys to strengthening, to make stronger the perception of the spiritual world. And to develop these abilities, you need to dedicate at least 10 minutes daily to that spiritual connection. 10 minutes at least daily. You need to create an environment conducive to communication. You need to maintain both energetic and physical cleanness before sitting at the vault. Now, I want to speak to you about the spiritual vault itself, the spiritual white table. Let's go into the spiritual white table. It was a little cold now. It's getting a little warm in here. So I'm going to take this off. I didn't even know I didn't rip this off. So, yeah, my bad, guys. I'm getting all this early Christmas gift from my daughters, my wife. So, the white spiritual table, the vault, is your point of connection between the material world and the spirit world. And it must include the essential elements, especially the three most important, which is river, sea, and rainwater. Now, in order for you to put river, sea, and rainwater to a spiritual vault, you need to have your spiritual table develop. You cannot just start with river, sea, and rainwater. You don't just start with those waters. Those are waters, like I speak on this book. Those are waters you use. There's 9 different types of waters that we use in the Spiritism, that we use in Spiritism practice. But it all depends which spiritual commission, spiritual guide you're going to dedicate that position. And it all depends in which positioning, which cup positioning are you going to put that river, that sea, because every cup positioning, different positions of the cups, takes a different water for a different purpose, on a different day, on a different time, and on a different moon. But every object placed in the vault, every object placed in the vault should be blessed with fresh water, with raw sugar, brown sugar, with another secret materials that I speak on my book and that I teach every day in my schools. Your vault, your spiritual white table could be harmonized, can harmonize, your entire home when you use it correctly. Yvonne says, eso no lo dice en TikTok. They don't say that on that TikTok AI video they did from the book. You can only learn that in the schools. Ashe, Yvonne, ashe. So, sometimes we concentrate a lot on Orishas, Ifa, Palomayom, and that's fine. It's cute. I mean, not to demeanor any other practices, but Spiritism is the largest, the deepest, and the most broad, expanded religion there is. Why? Because every religion has a piece of Spiritism, but Spiritism doesn't have a piece of no religion. Spiritism is the practice of your spirits. That is Spiritism, right? So we praise our spirits in Orisha, we praise spirits in Ifa, we praise spirits in Palomayombe. Spiritism is the only religion that is inside, is the only spiritual practice it dwells inside all aspects of all of the religions. Because every religion have to believe in something spiritual. Whether you're Muslim, whether you're Catholic, whether you're Christian, whether you're an Olorisha, whether you're a Babalawo, whether you an Oba Oriaté, from any religion that you are, you have to believe in a higher being, in something spiritual. And that is Spiritism. That's why a lot of people they use demeanors and improper context, and they wanna put down, they wanna lower, they want people to see bad spiritism just because they're not spirits, they're not spiritists. Because like I said, anyone can be an Olorisha. If you study a lot, you know, like me, you can be an Oriaté. Anyone can be, especially Babalao. Anybody can be Babalao. Anyone, but no, not a lot of people can be a spiritist. Yo meto una patada, I kick, you know, down a Hialeah block door, and about 40 Babalaos is going to come out, and 150 Olorishas is going to come out, and 3,000 Paleros is going to come out in every block, every corner on Hialeah, Miami, Cuba. But when you kick those same doors, you need to see how many spiritists are going to come out. Probably a couple. And out of those couple spiritists that came out, how many good spirits, good spiritists came out? Because you could never bind with a spirit that wants to leave, but you can educate them, you can develop them, and work with them. So let's talk about your dreams. You know, when we sleep, our soul separates from the body and travels to other planes where it receives messages. So this manifests as dreams or intuitions. The deeper the sleep, the more liberated the soul becomes, and its clarity increases. This is why it's so important to pay attention to what you experience during sleep. You know what I'm saying? And there are three main vibrational states that explain why mediums perceive things differently. Some of us are visual. Some of us, you know, when we say visual, a visual spiritist, it's he or she who see spiritual images and figures. That's a visual spiritist. The one that actually sees. You see spiritual images, you see shadows, you see figures. And then others are auditory. They hear voices, they hear messages, they hear a whispering. And others are motor. They experience, you know, like me, physical phenomena or involuntary moments, even among mediums, you know, even among mediums of the same type, perceptions can vary. Now, the trance states, that state, do you think it's false when they say regarding the children of Oya being naturally spiritually gifted? That is the most understatement of the year that I have heard to. There's no such thing as naturally spiritually gifted. You can only possess a spiritual gift after being developed and being surrounded by those stages. If you can be a son of Oya, everything you want, but if you don't surround yourself in that environment, you will not see a goddamn popcorn flying in the sky. There's just no way. There's no way you can perceive what the brain doesn't experience. That's spiritism. That's why there's people. That's why there's people that they never seen nothing. They have never been a spiritist, but then they get initiated into the religion at 20-something years old, 30-something years old, 40 years old, and all of a sudden, from one year to another, they start going to misa, to tambore, and they start seeing things. They start hearing things because your Ori cannot experience what your body does not presence. You're not just naturally gifted. You know, we are all gifted with extra sensory vibrational skill, vibrational sense. But there's no such thing. Thank you very much, Humberto. There's no such thing as you were born being spiritual, you were born with spiritual gift, you were born this and you were born that. That's just to give a. I need to learn how to say, because I never said this word in English. So, I must see it. And this is one of my favorite phrases to say in Spanish. And it's the first time I'm going to say it in English.
Fictitious supremacy.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to start bringing that phrase to the English community speaking. That's just to give a fictitious supremacy. Yes, I do a lot of those, Mark. But I have my 7 schools. You know, we have 7 schools that you can enroll today at my website, official website, david.aggayú.com. You know, people want to give these days fictitious supremacy. They want to give supremacy. They want to make look big, wow, to sons, daughters of, I don't know, Oshun, Oya, Shango, Yamaya. It doesn't matter the Orisha. Don't involve the Orisha into personal spiritual virtues. The Orisha is not going to give you that talent. You got to, just because you're initiated into an Orisha, that does not mean a goddamn thing. You have to develop that spiritual talent. You got to develop the spiritual goal, the spiritual growth, sorry. You got to develop that spiritual skill, and you got to develop your spiritual destiny. You got to develop that. Oh, that you are developing it with the ita or the, how do you say, consejos, the advices that the Orisha gave you. Yeah, sure, you can listen to the advices and you can guide you. You know, you can use that as a strong starting point. But there's no such thing as you're gifted. Because if you would have been gifted, when you're gifted, that means in elementary you were seeing spirits. That means in middle school you were montado con siete rayos. That means in high school you were already doing misas. That means in kindergarten you used to be a medium and speak to your teacher throughout the spirits. So when you tell me that you've been through that, then I can tell you that you up to a certain point you're naturally gifted. Because if you are born into a religious family and at 5, 6, 7 years of age you start seeing spirits, it's completely normal. Because your Ori evolves spiritually and gets aligned with the spiritual environment. But it's not because you have a higher count. It's not because you have a higher calling than somebody else. Good evening, Johanna. Blessings. You know, we are all created equal. Before states, we're all created equal by Obatala and Olodumare. And we are all going to be as high as we want to be with the effort of our Ori, not with the effort of no initiation. You will only get as far as you're going to get in life as you want to get to. Ain't no initiation is going to get you nowhere in life. And I'm just spitting facts. I know what I'm telling you. I know what I'm telling you from a professor that it's been almost 20 years in this religion, have read more than 8,500 books. And it doesn't matter the millions of followers that I have all over social media, because right now I probably have like 2 people connected because I'm doing the live in English. 98% of my followers are Spanish speaker. But everything has to do Hey, 3X Dos, blessings. Hey guys, don't hesitate to follow this TikTok um, account that I have. I have another TikTok account, but it's blocked. They first closed me a TikTok account of 500,000 followers, then one of 160,000, and now I'm using my Botanica or Oriaté TikTok account. Follow me on TikTok, but please, please, guys, support me on YouTube. That's where I want the real support on YouTube. Follow me on this TikTok account and follow me on YouTube. My YouTube account is David Ala Aggayú, and it's starting on January. I'm going to be doing lives only on my YouTube because you see, I'm tired of putting the effort, and TikTok keep closing my accounts. But the soul withdraws in that moment. A spirit can take the place of the medium's own spirit using their body communicating with those present. This is what we call incorporation. In Spiritism, we call this incorporation. Incorporation. I would like to know why it's so much fighting between authentic Cuban roots and African heritage. Because when you don't know where you come from, and when you are fear where you're going to, and when you are very uncult, uneducated, and when you are how do you pronounce that word? When you are illiterate, when you are illiterate and you have never read anything else than your blank toilet paper, that's when you start questioning everybody's wisdom, everyone's practices. The wisdom does not fight. Knowledge does not criticize, because knowledge and wisdom understands that there's no right or wrong. It all comes down to traditions and heritage. Afro-Cuban practice, look at me, have 600 and plus years of traditions. Nigerians have their own traditions. Haiti have their own traditions. Because yes, at the end of the day, everything came from Africa, but only the ethnias came from Africa. Everything had to develop their own tradition on their culture environment. And when you understand this, you're not going to be fighting with no one, because it all comes down to tradition and cultures. And it's all right. Everyone, it's right. Everyone, have their nice traditions. But when you get results of what you practice, you don't have time to be criticizing anyone. Yes, Carolina, I was actually the first one that said those words 3 years ago on social media, and now you see all Babalaos, Cubans, Babalao, saying it. He says it literally means tradition, obviously. And it's not even the fact that even Lukumi is tradition. It says it. Every country has an Isese. Every country has a tradition. Every country has a habit. Every country has its cultural way, and it's completely normal. Afro-Cuban Yoruba Lukumi has been working for Cubans and for millions of people all over the world for 600 years, guys. Nigerian independence, it was October 1st. I think it was October 1st, 1961, 1970, 1961 at least, when Nigeria got their independence. Cuba was killing chicken from goddamn 550 years. So don't tell me now that we don't know what we do and that only Nigerians are right. Nigerians, they have a beautiful culture. It's just beautiful. I love to study Isese. I love to study Isese. I love to study Voodoo, Hoodoo. Dominican, 21 División, Sanse, Puerto Rican Palo, Sanse, because I'm initiated into all of them at the end of the day. So I like all of them. I read about all of them, and I teach about all of them, or most of them for that matter. But it's not a matter of who's right and who's wrong. It's a matter of who develops its ashe. You can be practicing the best religion that if you don't develop your ashe, the religion is not going to do nothing for you. You know, we have dirtbag Christians, we have millionaire Christians, we have dirtbag Nigerians, we have very wisdom, wise, and millionaire Nigerians. We have dirtbag Cubans, and we have very wise Afro-Cubans. So it's not the religion, it's not the country, it's the ashe that you prepare, it's the ashe that you feed to yourself, and you grow spiritually, you grow into knowledge, and you put that knowledge into practice, and that practice needs to be result. You know, I was the one that came up many years ago with the phrase in Spanish. Now everyone says it all over social media. Que esto es resultado. Esto es resultado. And I'm gonna bring that phrase from Spanish, and I'm gonna bring that phrase to English, to the English community. This is results. It all comes down to results. Don't tell me what you practice, what you pray. If you pray Lukumi, Yoruba, if you have the most ancient practice, if you don't get no God, if you don't have no results for your God children's, you can throw all that to the trash. Ain't nobody care about none of that. Dice that Amaya dice, is this a store from the Botánica of South Post Oak Road donde atiende una chica embarazada? Yes, that Amaya. This is the store. Botánica Oriaté in Houston, Texas. This is the phone number. We ship all over the world, world and the US. We're one of the biggest Botánica in Texas. I don't want to say the largest, the biggest, but we have a lot of products. We have more than $1 million in merchandise at your disposal. We have Isese, Afro-Cuban, Spiritist, Hoodoo, Voodoo, everything. Orisha, Cuban or Afro-Cuban practice Orisha, Orisa, Isese. We have everything. We even have Emu, Epo, Efu, original from Nigeria. So you guys, and my books are available in my store also as well. So this is why proper development and protection, it is essential. Proper development and protection are essential, because when a medium is not properly developed, they become vulnerable to any influence. And when you become vulnerable to any influence, anything anyone says is going to have an influence. It's going to have an impact in you. India, I apologize if I don't pronounce your second name or last name correctly. I love your store. Kyle helps me a lot with connecting with my Orishas and thinking about getting a reading. That's lovely, India. That's lovely. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback, your comments. And if we can get a review from you in Google, that'll be awesome. That'll be the bomb. Thank you very much for being here with us. And India, follow my YouTube channel, please, dear, my YouTube channel. I want to get a lot of English community speaking religious attraction into my YouTube channel. And if you're connected into YouTube and you think I'm just spitting out some truth in this life, hit a thumbs up. I don't know how to say it, not sure, like other YouTuber does. Well, I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I'm a religious professor and practitioner, but you can give me a like in YouTube. I wish I can have that flow, how YouTubers say. They'd be like, give a thumbs up, or I don't know how to say it. Of course, I do follow your YouTube channel because of Kyle. Oh, thank you very much, dear. Thank you very much. Much love, much love. Luz y progreso. So the driving force behind all spiritual phenomena is the will. Now, this is deep, guys. The spirit has control over matter through willpower because it possesses creative power. This ain't no TikTok teaching. I might be going live to TikTok right now, but this is Dr. David Aggayu teachings. This is my school's teaching. The driven, for those of you that wants to be good spiritists, listen to this. Thank you very much for following the Botanica account, India. The driven force behind all spiritual phenomena, it is the will. And the spirit has control over matter through willpower because it possesses creative power. So spirit only comes if you let it come. Spirit only manifests, hello Anil, if you want it to manifest. Through mental power, a spirit can give a form and an appearance to subtle, I don't know how to say subtle. Hold on, right quick. Subtle. How to pronounce that?
Subtle.
Subtle. A spirit can give form and appearance to subtle matter. To subtle matter. And in most cases, the person manifesting this phenomenon receives assistance from invisible friends and guides, spiritual guides, who have more experience and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? This is very important to understand. This is key.
Phenomena.
Okay, I was wondering how do you pronounce, because I know how to pronounce phenomenon, but phenomena, it was. This is the foundation of our work as Spiritists. Understanding these principles, developing our faculties, and building a strong, protected connection with the spiritual world is the key. Now, what is the difference between spirit, soul, and perispirits?
Perispirit.
Perispirits. Okay, I was pronouncing it right. What is the difference between spirit, soul, and perispirits? Now listen to this. Yep, that's right. Luz. Yep. I'm going to get into that right now. That's right. Yes, share, please. Share the live and give a like. This guy, people are so they're just so childish. That's why people don't grow. People don't have vision. There's a guy here saying that the guy just wrote, he said some, I don't know if it's a fake profile, but he said, ha ha ha, you only have 2 people connected. Listen, man, it's, for me, having 2 people connected, it's about the perfect number for me because I started this religion because of 2 people. My madrina and Yubona. So, 2 people were the one that made me. And from the number 2 is how I got to where I am right now. So 2 people fully present are more powerful than hundreds just passing through. You know, the message always reaches who it's meant for. Numbers do not measure depth. I don't speak to crowds. I speak to alignment. You know, it's perfect. 2 people is fine. This knowledge isn't for noise. It's for those that are ready to hear it, that are ready to grow, that are ready for in 2026 to just go beyond, because they feel like they've been 20 years on the same circle and the same thing, and they did this year the same thing they did last year. Just wake up, take a shower, go to work, come back, shower, eat, sleep. Next day, wake up, go to work, you know, eat, sleep. Next day, wake up. So my message is for those, my legacy, I want to leave an impact on those that are ready to make a change, not on those people that are not ready to make a change. And it's normal for only 2 people, that are, because changes are uncomfortable. Changes are uncomfortable, you know. Serious teachings never start with masses. They start with the right minds. You know, it's perfect. 2 people in TikTok, 2 people in Facebook. I wasn't even born with nobody. I was born alone. I'm finna die alone. So when you know what you are, when you know what you built, when you know what you have built, when you have a strong personality and character, and you have a spiritual empire built, you don't mind. I mean, not that you don't care, but you don't mind if you have 1,000 people or 1 people connected, because I have more than a lot of witnesses here, Spanish bilingual speakers, that have seen me in action in YouTube on my Letra del Año with goddamn 6,500 people connected. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to a level that you have seen 7,000 or 6,000 people connected in a live, from going all the way over there, up there, eventually you start to be a little humble, because you start to understand that numbers do not define Ashe. Numbers do not define a priest. Numbers do not define success. Thank you very much, Jonathan Ricinos. Thank you for your support. So I'm fine with 2 people, dear. So the difference between spirit, so, you know, what I'm not fine with is that I have not smoked my cigarette. So yes, I'm going to smoke my cigarette, because I have another hour and a half of life, because now it's when I'm going to get into the deep subject, the deep matters, the deep waters. Yeah, my 24-hour life. The only religious, just 1 person, the only religious, only by itself person that have done a 24-hour live non-stop on YouTube. Ha 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 ha. And when I get good at English, I'm gonna do it in English. Just speaking religion, oduns, pataquis, eboses, spiritism, palo, ifa, orisha. Yeah, that's a record. I had done one of 16 hours, but because I couldn't make it to 24, and I wanted to break my own record because nobody broke that 16-hour non-stopping. But then I broke my own record. I did 24 hours, 24 hours, 6 minutes, 24 hours, 8 minutes, and 24 seconds. So now this year I want to make one of 36 hours in Spanish and a 24-hour. My goal this year is to make a live of 24 hours, but in English. Johnny Dorsey, welcome to the loyal members. Thank you for joining as a loyal member to the YouTube channel. I appreciate your support, brother. I deeply appreciate it. You have no idea how much I appreciate. Um, so to I want to clarify something that often causes confusion. What is the difference between spirit, soul, and perispirit? These terms are frequently used interchangeably, but in Spiritism, each has a distinct meaning. Now, welcome to the family, Johnny. The spirit is the immortal, and eternal. Let me say this again in a way that I can put it into a context that I feel comfortable, because my English, horrible. I mean, not my English, my pronunciation, it's what's horrible. The spirit is the immortal and eternal part of a human being. That's the spirit. That's the one that does not die. That's the one that reincarnates. I mean, not reincarnate. The soul is the reincarnate. But the spirit reincarnates with the soul as well. So, the spirit, it's your divine essence. The spirit is the spark that transcends earthly existence. That's the spirit. The spirit incarnates. Thank you, Giovanni. Thank you, my brother. The spirit incarnates in a physical body to experience life on earth and to evolve spiritually through different incarnations. That's the spirit. Now, the soul, how do you pronounce soul correctly? Soul. I think I hit home run with this Google Translate thing. I think I'm the only guy that is not embarrassed to put Google Translate to learn how to pronounce a word in the middle of all his followers or all the listeners. That's crazy.
Soul.
Soul. Soul. Okay, soul. Thank you, Giovanni. So the soul is sometimes used, you know, the soul refers to the more immediate part of our being. The soul is sometimes used interchangeably with the spirit, but there's a subtle distinction between the soul and the spirit. The soul refers to the more immediate part of our being, the part linked to the physical body and earthly experience. Thank you, Jose. The spirit is the higher, more divine entity, because that's why it's so difficult to develop Spiritism. You can only do it through constant continuation, persistent, and you will get there, especially with my Spiritism school and my Spiritism book. Not to mention. But the spirit is higher, and the soul is like the spirit, but it's more attached to us. And then there's the perispirit. This is a subtle, the semi-material, like the vibe on top. That when you touch, when you touch a piece of metal and it goes clack, and it shocks you, it gives you electricity, and you touch a piece of metal and it's like, clack, and you're like, damn. Well, that's your perispirit. That's your perispirit. Your perispirit, it's a subtle, semi-material body that surrounds the soul and has a link between the spirit and the physical body during incarnation. The perispirit is the one that holds your individual traits, impressions, and accumulated experience from all your incarnations. The perispirit is the energetic mold that shapes your appearance and characteristics. and it persists after death. So think of it this way. I'm going to put it to you in perspective. Think of it this way, guys. Hear me out right quick. The spirit leads from the transcendental realm. Transcendental. Transcendental. So the spirit leads from the transcendental realm. The spirit leads from the transcendental realm. The soul experiences life on earth. And the perispirit serves as the dynamic connection between both of this first one that I just mentioned. And together they weave the fabric
weave,
yes. And together they weave the fabric of spiritual existence. The perispirit is the one, is the essence, is the energy that is in charge of making sure that you can get possessed by a spirit. The one who makes the connection is the perispirit. It's not the spirit, it's not the soul, it's the perispirit. Perispirit is like the ham. The spirit and soul is like the bread. It's a sandwich. Ham. I'm speaking in Cuban terms. So just think that the spirit and the soul is the bread, and the perispirit is the jelly, the peanut butter jelly. Now, no truly understanding the perispirit is what's going to make us be possessed by spirit on the day of tomorrow. For those of you that want to montar or subirse, those of you that want to get possessed by spirit, we need to discuss what happens after death, particularly in cases of suicide. You know? Perispirit is fine matter, aka energy, like electricity. There you go, mediumistic. We're talking about the same thing. You just said it with different words, and I'm saying it a little bit more, literally wise, literacy wise, or in other terms, but it's the same context. And this is a difficult but important topic. According to Spiritist doctrine, the person who takes their own life does not achieve their goal. They do not cease. Yes, Huri, brother, in order to understand the context of the whole entire an hour and a half life that I have been saying, you need to watch the life from the beginning. Because what you're saying, I have said it already 3 times in the life, but there's a lot where that comes from. It's not the fact that spirit can't act directly on dense matter, because it could. It's just that the way it can act is through another way. But I cannot repeat the whole life. It's the entire life is on YouTube, in my YouTube. I'm gonna say my YouTube account. So this is the issue, guys. If someone else causes, what happens to the perispirit? Or, if when they take their own life, they do not cease to exist. They continue to feel and to suffer in another dimension. So if you have a family member that committed suicide, a mother committed suicide, and no matter how close this ancestor is to you, if that spirit, if that Aggayu, if that ancestor took his own life according to Spiritism standards, that person that person's picture, either or name, cannot be added onto the spiritual table, the spiritual white table, unless you do certain types of ebos, you do certain types of spiritual elevations, and you do certain types of other secrets that you can do in there. And what happens to the perispirit? Because the perispirit is a sort of body that interacts with our own thoughts and action. It is directly affected by suicide. So if someone else causes your death, you may experience trauma, but the perispirit remains intact. So like, let's say you take my life, perispirit will remain intact. However, if you cause your own death, the perispirit, not the spirit, hood, mystic, I'm sorry, not the spirit, the perispirit. We need to learn the difference between what is the soul, what is the spirit, what is the perispirit, and what is the body. When we understand these four concepts and elements, then we can understand a little bit more Spiritism. But I have a book that is better than the collection of prayers by Allan Kardec and the specific prayers, Giovanni. I recently published a book that is called Selected Prayers for Spiritual Masses, Oraciones Escogidas. This book is on four lingual. This book is on Spanish, English, Yoruba, and Congo. Why this book is like this? I wrote the book this way because in Allan Kardec collection of prayers, Hood Mystic, Cardiac Spirit book is okay. It's okay. Okay. Out of the 120 prayers of the book, which are the prayers you're going to pray? How do you know what is the right prayers to pray for the right spirit commissions, for the different types of commissions that there exist? So that's why I wrote this book. This book has the most important 21 prayers of the Allan Kardec book prayers. But it has the 21 prayers. It's in order. You don't have to be shifting from front to back to middle. It has the 21 right prayers to pray. Because the Allan Kardec book has about 125 prayers. You ain't going to pray 125 prayers. You're going to do a misa of 15 hours? We can't even read half of a book sometimes. You're going to read 125 prayers. By traditional, old school American Spiritism, Afro-Cuban Spiritism, we have been praying 21 prayers. That's the amount of prayers. And it's the right prayer, the right sequence, and the organization. So in this book, you have it in the right sequence, organize the 21 prayers, page by page by page by page. You don't have to be jumping front and back. And you have the prayers in Spanish, you have it in English, all in the same book, my brother. You have it in Yoruba, so you can pray those prayers to your Orisha gods, to your Yoruba gods, to your Orisha, and you have it in Congo. I pray these prayers a lot in Congo to my conjurings, to my spirits, to my impungus. However, clairvoyant mediums often observe spirits who died, suicide. But you see, let me just get right to the point, because I want to speak to you about the fundamental dimensions of the human body, which is body, soul, perispirit, and spirit. Body, soul, perispirit, and spirit. Because these concepts are often confused online in social media. So let me clarify a little bit for you. The body, let me see what this guy said. No, we're not Mormons, man. If you don't know what we're talking about here, the body. Hey, thank you for following, brother. The body is our material, and I exhort you to follow me on my YouTube channel. I'm live right now on my YouTube channel. Starting January, I'm only gonna be doing lives on YouTube. YouTube, I want the English community, religious people to know that I exist, because I have been doing religious lives and teachings for 18 years. Orisha, Ifa, Yoruba, Afro-Cuban Lukumi, Palo Mayombe, Spiritism. But from now on, I'm going to be doing English lives every day, English videos. So, guys, the body is our material shell. The body. It's. Thank you, brother. The body is our material shell, the physical and the tangible part of us. The body is the subject to the laws of matter. Birth, growth, decay, death. The body serves as a vehicle for the soul and the spirit to experience the physical world. Now, the soul is the seat of our emotions. Profe, I actually had one of my homies subscribe to the channel. He's on a spiritual journey, and I told him you're the best. Oh, thank you very much, Marcelino. Thank you very much, mijo. So the soul is the seat of our emotion throughout and will. And guys, we have a free WhatsApp channel. If you guys want to join my WhatsApp channel, it's completely for free. The WhatsApp channel name is David Aggayú, which is the same name, has my YouTube channel. When you go to WhatsApp, your WhatsApp app, you go to updates and you're searching channels, you can just put my name, and I'm even verified and everything. So, the soul is the link between the body and the spirit, and it develops through life experience, education, and self-knowledge. The soul, you can develop your soul to be more elevated. Now, the perispirit is the semi-material, fluidic envelope that surrounds the spirits. It embraces the spirits. And the perispirit acts as an intermediary between spirit and body. The perispirit shapes the physical body and retains the impressions of awe or lived experience. The perispirit refines itself through spiritual evolution. So hear me out. The spirit is the intelligent principle of the universe, the divine spark that dwells in every human being. It is immortal and evolves through multiple incarnations. This is the element that survives physical death. Spirit don't die. You can never kill a spirit. Now, how do these four dimensions work together? The spirit uses the perispirit, has a mold to form the physical body. That's why the perispirit is this connection between the soul and the spirit. The perispirit is the one in charge of whether you're going to get possessed by a spirit or not. So in my schools, and this is one of the three Spiritism book that I have written. I have written three Spiritism book out of my. I have published 47 work of art. 47 books. I have written 47 books. But this book, there's a lot of content on TikTok from English speakers that doing content. They're doing content with AI with the images of this book. You want the whole truth, or at least what's going to get to the closest of being the truth, how to become a medium in Spiritism. Thank you for helping me, guys. Yeah, I need help with the English. I need to get better at it. I even hired an English professor. I'm reading oratory books. I'm gonna try to do my best for you guys. You guys deserve the best. The soul throughout the body experiences the material world. The soul is the one that gathers the experience, that influence in the spirit evolution. So the body's health is influenced by the quality of the perispirit. Our health, our health is influenced by the quality of our perispirit, which reflects the evolutionary state of the spirit. Thank you, Marcelino. Hell yeah, they have no shame using your material to get English followers. Yeah, that's why from now on they gonna be stuck. They stuck. I'm getting out of my comfort zone. I'm barely gonna do any Spanish live from now on, and I don't care if I have two people connected, like I have right now in my 434,000 followers business page on my Facebook has almost 500,000 followers. Obviously, 99.999% they're Spanish followers. I only have like two people connected right now. I don't care. From now on, I'm going to burn all social media with English context, with wisdom in English language. English language. You know, we Cubans, we call it, we're going to cut the light in the water. Vamos a cortarle el agua y la luz. I have a lot to offer to the English community, hood mystic. I'm sorry. I have a lot of I just have a lot of stuff to share with you guys of Spiritism, Ifa, Orisha, Palomayombe, especially Orisha and Palomayombe. Man, Hoodie works. Hoodie. Is that I say hood and mystic, and then I say hood, but then I see the M and the Y, and sorry about that. Hoodie. I'm gonna baptize this man with the name of Hoodie. Now everybody's gonna start calling him Hoodie from now on. Hood Mystic. Very, very nice name. You can concentrate on the English life, but you can't for the Spanish speaker. I'm learning Orisha cantos with your videos. Nice, nice. Hey, Evelyn, blessings. Blessings, Evelyn. So, continuing, let me see how can I smoke this cigarette so TikTok won't flag me. TikTok crazy, man. TikTok be pulling all these crazy things at nighttime. All these butt naked people, woman, mans, and they flag your life for a cigarette. That's crazy, man. That's 2025 for your ass. It's crazy as hell. TikTok. Chinese people be crazy. How you gonna flag my life for a cigarette and you have butt naked man and woman at the same time all day long on TikTok? That's crazy as hell, man. Yeah, I hate TikTok too, Marcelino, but I have to do it at least for this month on TikTok because I want everyone on TikTok to see that I'm doing English lives so they can come to my YouTube channel. But yeah, that's crazy as hell, man. And I think everyone knows what I'm talking about because we all seen the crazy stuff on TikTok. I mean, only a few people take advantage of the positive things that once in a blue moon comes out in TikTok. But anyways, it's all bureaucratic crap. So yes, we do have different types of. Thank you very much, Worship Pupo. We do have different types of medium and spirits, in the study of Spiritism. You can say that again, for sure. Take your time, smoke a cigarette, and have some coffee. Yeah, I just had the coffee right now. Smoke the cigarette. Kardec wasn't a medium, was he? No, he was not, Hoodie. He was not. Kardec was not. Um, he was not. He never got possessed by a spirit. Matter of fact, he believed that the most authentic communication with the spirits was without being possessed. You can tell he thinks like a science. Yeah, he was very much into the philosophical and scientific. Well, he said it in his book. He said that Spiritism was the practice of spiritual beings in science and philosophical. So it is essential. It's essential that we need to distinguish between distinguish. Can't believe I said that word right. Oh shit! Oh, I'm getting gringo there little by little. So it's essential to distinguish. Might be a regular word for you guys, but that's a big ass word for me. Distinguish. I feel. Hmm. So writing notation too. Study of Spiritism is essential to distinguish between being a true spiritist and becoming a distorter. I'm sorry, distorted. Is that how you pronounce it? Distorter? Let me double check. Distorter. I know how to write it perfectly fine, but
distorter,
distorted. Yes, distorted. I got it. So there's a big gap between being a true spiritist and becoming a distorted of the doctrine. Throughout history, spiritual teachings have been subject to manipulations. I'm sure we can all relate to that. Which is why we must approach them with respect and understanding. Blessings, if you follow me. Blessings, brother. So Spiritism includes a wide range of practices and abilities that vary depending on each person's capacity, and sensitivity. Now let me walk you through the different types of spiritists and how they connect with the spiritual world. First, we have the intuitive. I don't know how to say intuitive. I said it right. Intuitive. Man, I'm spending some big words today, man. Intuitive. The intuitive medium receives spiritual messages throughout thoughts and images, offering guidance or healing to others. Thank you, Hoodie. Then we have the telekinetic medium that can move objects without physical contact using spiritual energy. It's called telekinetic. Then we have the auditory medium that perceive spirit voices and transmit the message received. After that, we have the water medium. The one that uses glasses of water has a perception tool visualizing images or messages on its surface. No? Then we have the light medium. Light mediums are those that focuses on the flame of a candle to interpret spiritual manifestations through variations in the light. Then we have the cartomantic mediums that uses cards, tarot, Spanish deck to channel spiritual messages, and that's fine. Thank you for following Cosmic. Then we have the tobacco medium that interprets how cigarette or cigar burns, on how the ashes falls, to decipher, I don't know how to pronounce decipher, how do you pronounce decipher?
Decipher.
I said it right, another big word for me. Decipher messages from spirits. Then we have the smoke mediums. Smoke mediums, they're a little bit of hoodie. Newly initiated 6 months ago. Oh, welcome to my TikTok account, Cosmic. And I kindly and lovely invite you to follow my YouTube channel, which I'm live right now on my YouTube channel, because starting on January, all my content is gonna be streaming through YouTube. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Now we have the smoke medium, we have the dream medium, also called oneirik, that receive spiritual messages through dreams that can be premonitory or revealing, you know. Then we have the healing medium. We have the everyday intuitive medium that perceives signs. We have a bunch of different types of mediums. Blessings, Claudia Barron. Blessings very much. I'm trying to be a telekinetic medium so I can throw stuff to people. Right. So what matters most is the responsibility, respect, and spiritual or ashe or spiritual respect with which we handle this knowledge. Always remembering that the main goal of Spiritism is the evolution of the soul and the spiritual growth. Now, who can set up the white table, guys? Who can set up the white table? If I may ask. Does Babalao set up white tables? Can an Aleyo set up a white table? Can a Palero set up a white table? Or does it have to be a Santero? Hoodie's like saying the bomb. No. One of the most debated topics in Spiritism is this: who is authorized to set up a spiritual altar, a bóveda espiritual? Let me be clear about something. How many times have you heard phrases like, I'll charge you to set up your, or I have to do it for you, my godchild, or it's time to clarify this once and for all? You know, setting up a spiritual vault, if I have to do it for you, I'm going to charge you, because it's my time, it's my knowledge, it's my spirituality, it's my ashe, and I have to stop doing something in order to go to your house and do it for you. But if you pay me for me to do it for you, it's fine. You can do that. But you don't have to. You can do it yourself. You can do it yourself. With this book, it gives you step by step on the many different ways on how to set up a correct spiritual white table, your spiritual vault. And even more, if you join me in my Spiritism school, which is in Spanish and English. No, my brother, this is in English. I have the same book in Spanish that is called La Guía del Espiritista, which is a different cover. But that same book, it's available in English. This is a right cover. It has an English title, you know, How to Become a Medium in Spiritism. This is, how do you say that word? by far the best. How do you say that term? This is the holy grail. That's the term that I was looking for. This is the holy grail of 100% perfect guide for you that want to grow your spiritual world. Congratulations on your books. Thank you very much, Pink Glitter. Thank you very much. It is the perfect day-to-day handy book that you're gonna have under your the complete guide. Yeah, it's you're just gonna have it under your arm all the time and carry it out because it has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. That's right. That's right, Hoodie. Hundreds of practices on how to set up your spiritual. The 21 different cup positions that I see on social media that they're doing now with AI, they're getting it from my books. You see, I'm going to show you right quick. You see the positions, all the right positions. And it's not just to know the position, it's how you're going to use this. Because listen to me, guys. If you watch all these little AI videos in social media that they're on the images on the positioning of the cup, what they're not explaining to you is the context behind that cup position. How do you feel the effect of the position? Man, I feel it. I feel it. I feel it in my soul. I feel it coming soon for the letter of the year. Yes, on my YouTube channel, January 1st at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, the official transmission of the letter of the year is going to be live in my YouTube channel, which is called David Alagayu. It's called David Alagayu. You're more than welcome. I extend kindly the invitation for you guys to come to my YouTube channel. So setting up a spiritual vault, has no cost for you unless you don't know how to do it because you didn't want to be in my school or you didn't want to read one of my books. Then, yeah, I'm going to charge you to go to your house, transportation, time, ashe, spirituality, knowledge. But if you learn, you can do it yourself. It's a representation of your. Why are you screaming, Hoodie? It's a representation of your spiritual ancestors. Anyone is entitled to do it. Just has every human being has the capacity to establish contact with spirits. Everyone has the right to create their own sacred space, their own sacred spiritual space, without relying on others. You're in fact gonna pay me for my time, but you don't have to. I love the honesty. Yeah, that's why, Hoodie. Let me tell you something, my brother. That's why I'm a very blessed man. With less, I do more. There's a lot of people that with more, they can barely do nothing. I I I I teach. That's my legacy. My legacy is to teach. My legacy is to teach you how to fish. My legacy is to teach you how to walk. That's the legacy I want to live in this world. I don't steal from people. I don't lie to people. I'm going to charge you for a spiritual work if you need me to, but I'm going to tell you where to find the solution of your problem. The solution is in my schools. I'd rather pay 80, 90 bucks for a school a month than having to pay someone $3,500 when I have a big ass problem in my hands. As simple as that. I teach you how to fish, so you can eat your own goddamn fish for the rest of your life. You don't need to be. You don't need. I teach you to stop begging. To stop spiritual begging. 90% of the times you pay, baba, iya, and 95% of the times you don't get the results that you're looking for. I bet English speakers did not know that big revelation. You know, it is primarily a personal space of communication with the spirits, and the most appropriate person to set it up is you, the practitioner, yourself. You're the most you're the most correct person to put spiritual vault. Your spiritual vault is you. Now, before you set up your vault, you must be certain that you genuinely want to do this, driven by the knowledge, the faith, the conviction, not by fashion, not by external pressure. But having a spiritual vault implies responsibilities. You know, it's not like you're going to be on top of the spiritual vault all day, every day, 24/7, not like that, because we human beings get annoying and spirits get annoying as well. But a neglected altar, altar, it's a sign of holy spirituality. Do you need investigation masses before building your bóveda? Well, no and yes. No, because you got to start at some point, and you don't need investigation masses to know that you have a spiritual cuadro. How do you say cuadro espiritual? How do you say cuadro espiritual, guys? Help me out with that. Please help me. How do you say cuadro espiritual? You don't need a spiritual mass to know that you have a spiritual court. Court, that sounds judicial. Spiritual court. Like spiritual court? Spiritual, or Marcelino is also saying court. Okay, spiritual court then. Spiritual court. Because then spiritual square, yes, court. That's the right term, Pink? Thank you, Pink. So spiritual court, you don't need to do no 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 misas. You know you have a spiritual court. You just don't know which spirits are they. Unless far more from that, you have your ancestors, your grandmothers, grandfather, great grandmothers, and uncles, and past family members in your life. But on the other side, looking at it the other way, if you do a spiritual mass before you put up your white table, you will have an idea of the images that you need to apply, that you need to add to your spiritual white table. But you can get that flow, you can get that spiritual flow over time. I was reading a book about my friend, Dr. Franco Piso, and he was saying that done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. And that's one of the phrases that inspire me the most. I've been slacking on not wanting to do English lives, English content, I'm sorry, because my English, although I came from Cuba when I was 11 years old, and I became a U.S. citizen when I was 17, and I am 39 years old right now at the moment. Yeah, my English is always being horrible with a bad accent, ghetto. Although I have a 2 doctor's degree, I have a master's degree on African history from Ohio State University, and I have all that. It's just my accent. But I was reading a book the other day that says, done is better than perfect. I'll share, Pinky. Done is better than perfect. It is better for you to do something even though you're not good at it, but you still did it. That is better than to wait until you're perfect at doing something and then start doing it 50 years from now. Done is better than perfect. And the only way I'm going to get good at speaking in English, talking in English, in religious context, is by doing English lives. People waking up to the English being ASS. Anyways, Baba, your English is good. My English is fine when it comes to having a regular conversation, but when it comes to putting religious context and terms into English, then that's where it gets a little complicated for me. But little by little, with the help of you guys, my good listeners, we're gonna get there. So yeah, ideally you can get your spiritual masses before you would need religious information in normal words so we can understand it. Like, yes, my brother. But spiritual masses, spiritual, it helps defines your spiritual framework and correctly assign glasses to each commission. But you don't have to have any masses before you put up your spiritual board. It's not mandatory. Your connection with the spirits can develop naturally over time, and you will recognize your guides yourself. But you need a guide. You need a guide. A guide. Spiritism school. You can enroll today at my website, david@aggayu.com. Or you can just try it for 1 month. My schools, we don't charge no subscription fee. We don't charge no subscription fee. The only thing you pay is your month upfront, like Netflix. You want Netflix, you pay your $20 a month and you watch and you get Netflix. Whenever you want to stop watching Netflix, you just cancel the membership and you stop watching it. It's the same thing with my schools. I don't charge no $100, $200, $300, $400 of this, all this crazy scam subscription fees, enrollment fees. That's not religious. That's not honest. That's despicable. You don't steal people's money. You have all these little bootlegged ghetto ass little religious schools online these days from all these TikTokers that you pay this fee, then you pay this a month. You don't need to pay no goddamn fee to subscribe, man. You just pay your monthly what the school costs a month, and that's it. Some of my schools, they go for $70. Some of them go for 90. Some of them are 80. Some of them 100. Some of them 150. It depends on the school. And when we speak in Spiritism, how many of you know very diverse and experiment knowledgeable godfathers and godmothers in Spiritism and Palo and Orisha that knows a lot about a whale sign, that knows a lot about herbs and plants? Like 1 in 500,000? Yeah, maybe. You're in 6 schools. 1 in 100,000? Not many. Like someone will talk to you about 5, 10, 15, 20 plants. We have about 300,000 plants. And in the religion, we use about 10,000 different plants. In the religion, in the African, Yoruba, Lukumi, West African context, Palo Mayombe, Ifa, Spiritism, we use about 10,000 different plants. Each Orisha is entitled to at least 100 different plants. Each Mpungu has 50 to 80 to 100 different plants. Each spiritual commission is entitled to 50 different plants. The plants that you use to evolve and develop your Arabic commission is not the same plants you use to call your Indian commissions, and it's not the same plants you use to work with your Congo commissions, and it's not the same plants you use. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all about basil, and it's not all about abaca. It's a whole different entire world. I've been studying plants for the past 20 years, and I'm not even at the 20% of the knowledge of the plants that I can get to have. I can live easily 10 different lives, 10 lives back to back. and I will not get to know not even the 75% of the whole entire knowledge of Mother Nature and plants. No, Kardec did not talk about plants. The person that have applied the spiritual knowledge, the plant knowledge into the spiritism have been a servant in 21st century. Blessings, José Moreno. Si me pueden ayudar con un like, se los voy a agradecer. If you guys can help me with a like, give a like, a thumbs up here in YouTube. Blessings, Coco. So, you see, in Spiritism, we have the crucifix that symbolizes the highest spirituality, authority, and the connection between the living and the spirits. We have the glass goblet for the holy, represents the divine presence. We have the clear glass cups. We have the table represents the four pillars of life, the cardinal directions, the spiritual balance. It should be about waste, hate. And you know, we traditionally we put nothing but white cloth. I was speaking to my students today, and in the Spiritism school, that over time we're taught that the spiritual white table is used only. We use in the spiritual white table only but white cloth. No, no. Different times. Thank you for sharing, Coco. Much love. Different days of the week have different spiritual commissions that has different spirit guides that manifest with a different color, cloth texture that manifests within a different moon on a different time of the day. Now that's deep. That's Spiritism. That ain't no IA Spiritism. That's deep Spiritism. And when you put this into you, how do you say that? When you una fusión, when you mix, when you do a salad of this, and you put that the plant that applies to one day of different day of the week, it's a different plant, then you're gonna know which is the sacred holy plant that works with your spiritual commission. Infusion. You know, brown sugar, wash basins, absorb all negativity before communications, colognes, herbs like basil, Mar Pacifico, paradise flowers, you know, white flowers. But also we need to use red flowers, guys. Johnny Dozer. This is the young brother in the store the other night with my wife and two daughters. Greetings, brother. My health depends on this community. I have no family. You're all I got, bro. Seriously, need help. Blessings, Johnny. Blessings. Whatever you need, brother, we're here to help. And whatever I can help you, man, you can count on me. So we're here for you, man. So, you know, we need to interpret the water evaporation, the circles. That's very important. And what to do before setting up your white spiritual table is very important, because what you do before and after influence, and it has an impact on the results. You can say when you married these two subjects, or you can say when you fuse These two. That's the right word I was looking for, Hoodie. Thank you very much, man. When you fuse. So, what to do before setting up your spiritual white table? Or what to do before you clean your white table? Or what to do before you touch your white table? You know, doesn't only apply. This does not only apply to. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, don't. Oh shit. I invited someone by mistake, and it was an honest mistake. Please don't accept the invitation. And thank you for not accepting the invitation. I was just clicking on the names. I was scrolling up and scrolling down to see a message, and I clicked on the name by mistake. Sorry about that. So, spiritual baths in preparation, dietary. How do you say dietary? How do you pronounce that?
Dietary.
Dietary. So dietary restrictions, it's important because spirits would not manifest when the stomach is full. Emotional and mental stability and abstinence from certain habits, like, yeah, sex, man. You can't have sex now, you cannot have intimacy, and 5 minutes later do a spiritual mass, or change this, or put up your, or set up your spiritual vault, your spiritual table, or change the water, and just we gotta be clean. Preparing the objects for the bóveda, we need a medium to small table. You don't need a huge space. Your spiritual tank is on E. You need your glasses, a cup of glasses cup. You need a clear gobble. You need crucifix. You need candle holder. You need white candles. You need white flower bucket. You need wash basin with cleansing preparation. You need tobacco. You need sugar cane liquor. You need maybe 1 or 2 photos of your most closest deceased relatively, spiritual, of certain saint images or figurines that represent certain spirits of your and the position of the cups. I want to speak. This is the best part of the life. Blessings, nuestros ancestros. Okay, guys, let me break it down for you. Let me break it down for you. For those of you taking pictures to my books, especially this book in particular, and putting the picture into IA and recreating the image so nobody will know it's from this book. Yeah, people ain't stupid. Everyone knows my literature, or at least everyone that is Spanish speaking or bilingual speaking. And I have gotten so many emails and messages about doctors. All your bóveda cup positioning from your book are on TikTok, on AI videos, and this welcoming position. Welcoming position. This is from my book, and in the book it tells you the context. But in TikTok, it's not going to show you how to work with that position. These positions can save you or can drown you. If you don't know how to use, yeah, I mean, I'm calling them out in a professional way. I don't want to mention their names because, I'm just, I don't want to start reaching out to the English community looking unprofessional or fighting with anybody, especially if it's una dama, especially if it's a female. I don't, you know how I think about arguing with women, Mimi. I don't argue with women. But it's important for you to understand the right context and explain. If you're going to get the context of my books and share it with your followers, please share it completely. Because the arrangement of glasses on the spiritual altar and the spiritual white table is fundamental, because their positioning directly influences their energy and purpose of your bóveda. So let me explain the different layouts and when to use each one. Thank you, Claudia. Hey, you guys that are on my TikTok account, you are more than welcome. You are invited to follow my TikTok account, which is my Botanica store account, because I have I'm going to show you guys something so you guys know that I'm not lying. First, TikTok closed me an account of 500,000 followers, and now my real TikTok account is blocked. I haven't been, as a matter of fact, I'm looking for a professional that can unblock my TikTok account, because my original TikTok account is this one, but I have not uploaded anything in 2 months. When I try to log in, it says locked account, locked account. So you see, when you press following, I follow my Botanica Oriaté, which is where I'm doing the live right now. But yeah, whatever. It's the second TikTok account they close on me. Just haters reporting. This religion is supposed to be about spiritual, man. We're supposed to be brothers, sisters. That's why Muslim people, they just have more reach to the world. That's why Christians have so much reach to the world. But we religious spiritists, Afro-Cuban, Yoruba practitioners, Palo Mayombe, Ifa, Olorisha, Oba Oriaté, that practice their religion, we're constantly hitting on each other, hating each other, talking BS about each other. And it's sad that a religion that has so much potential to reach out, because this is the religion of the results. There is no religion that gives more results than this religion. Yoruba, Lukumi, Palo Mayombe, Spiritism, Orisha, Ifa practice. This is the religion of resultados. Ain't no we finna ask Christ and in a year from now or whenever it's God will. Now ain't no God will in here. Ain't no God will. God's will is the knowledge. The knowledge that, this week I have read 14 books. I read 14 books this week. 14 books this week. And I try to at least every week, the least that I can read is 5 books. A week. Don't got no time to lose time. Don't got no time to lose time. And if I'm going to be on TikTok, it's because I'm going to watch a productive life, a productive content like the one being modest apart you're watching right now. This is not hatred. This is not gossiping. This is not chumaria. This is not screaming. This is something productive. It's something so you can open your spiritual path, your spiritual mind. In the age of Aquarius, you're doing it. Yes. Even though I'm Virgo, EOCD, extremely obsessive compulsive disorder organization, everything that has to do with me has to be everything on point. Yeah, put user hide using from channel. So the first bóveda, the first position, the first cup position, the first bóveda position is the position for request. I'm going to mention the different positions. I'm not going to mention it all, but I'm going to mention most of the positions. I'm just not going to show the picture. I can show you a couple of pictures later on the live, but everything is in this book. Don't got no time to lose time taking notes. Yes. The position for requesting help. This position, it is used when you need urgent intervention for health issues, legal troubles, family conflicts, or financial problems. It is, you put the cups in a strategical way. Then we have the second position, the celestial position. I don't know how to mention celestial. Celestial. How do you pronounce celestial? Celestial. I know you write it like that, but
Celestial.
Celestial. Celestial.
Celestial.
Celestial. Oh shit! I didn't know that's how you pronounce celestial. I thought you used celestial. Celestial. Sounds weird.
Celestial.
Celestial. Okay, celestial. So it's just some words. Even though I pronounce some words right, hoodie, the robot is saying it's strange. Celestial. Okay, so the celestial position honors the celestial divinities, beginning with Olodumare, Akamara. It is strengthens spiritual growth and elevates your framework to higher planes. And yes, guys, for those of you that think that you cannot reach and spirituality of an Orisha throughout your spiritual table, you are very well misguided. Stacy, hello, Philadelphia. Hey, Stacy, blessings, dear. You can reach about has almost all entities throughout. The TikTokers will hate to hear this. You can reach Orisha spirituality through your spiritual white table. And I can prove you that with Odu of Ifa. And I can prove you that with Odu of Eri de Logun. Obefun, just to make a small parenthesis, for those of you that don't believe that much. And I can show you the text here on Shalakba de Popola, book on page 120, Pathway to Ifa. I'm not a Babalao, but I read a lot of Ifa and I teach Ifa mythology, history, context, comprehension, and Odus. You know, you don't need to be Babalao to know Ifa. Odu is beautiful. But, you know, the celestial position, then we have the rest position that represents protection and balance, the rest position. Lashi Suarez says, a Babalao speaking in English. Ha, ha, ha. You're not gonna intoxic my beautiful life, Lachi. You can fuck off. Fucking wetback. The rest position represents protection and balance. So you have position for requesting, celestial position, the rest position, which is for balance, Then you have the astral projection. I don't know how to say astral. Astral. We have the astral projection position that facilitates astral connections and is associated in the Odum Ogbesa. Thank you for the gift, Lucero. Then we have the defensive position. The defensive position projects you spiritual attacks and harmful sendings. It acts as a shield, preserving your status without causing harm to others. Then you have the spiritual core position. You have the offensive position. You have the ancestral position. You have the welcoming position. Welcoming. You have the attack position. You have the channeling position. You have the unification position. You have the protection position. You have the appeal position. But then you also have the alignment position, the enlightenment position, the purification position, the liberation position, etc., etc., etc. There's 21 different positions. In this book, you will find step by step how to work deeply with all of those positions and how to maximize your spiritual potential, how to be a very good godmother in Spiritism and how to be a very good godfather in Spiritism. And I guarantee you, you will not be deceived. Hell, if you don't like the information, I'll give you the money back. You call my botanica and say, I don't like that book, give me back the book, I'll give you back the money. That's how I'm positive how much of an impact this book is going to have in your life. Yes, Lucero. Because when you're positive on what you do, you can make the promises that you want. When you have knowledge, when you have results, you can put your mouth where your word is, or your word where your mouth is, or however you say it, or the word where your money is, or however you say it. But here's what matters the most. Regardless of which position you use, where your money is. There you go. And if you put that into context with my Spiritism school, oh boy, or herb school, or 2, 3, 4, 5 schools. David@Aggayú.com. That's my official website. There's only one place where you can acquire my books, my schools, and to get a reading with me. It's only one place, guys. None of my literacy is available in Amazon. It's only available in one place. Everything that has to do with Dr. Oriaté, Aggayu, you can only get it in my official website, which is David@Aggayú.com. And yes, we accept pretty much every payment on every form of payment on planet Earth it can exist. American Express, black, white, green cards, any cards, PayPal, Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, everything. So we got to keep it clean. We got to keep it orderly. We got to know how to put our cups. The success, guys, the success of your spiritual vault depends directly on the attention you give it. The light received by your protected spirits depends on your care. Throughout these positions, you can strengthen your connection with the spiritual world, and you can get to places that you never thought you will. But this takes us to the next step on this. Gonna go on to 3-hour live. This has been a live of 3 hours. You can see the whole entire life if you just come to my YouTube channel. You subscribe to my YouTube channel completely for free. And you follow me on YouTube. You can watch the whole entire life. See, YouTube, David Aggayu. YouTube, David Aggayu. So listen to this. I'm a little cold already. The location of your bóveda matters. Location matters. The schools learning are investment in yourself. That's right. That's right. The location to where you have your spiritual white table in your house matters. Where do you have your spiritual white table in your house right now? For sure, brother. Thank you very much, Hoodie. Where you position, it influences the energy of your space and the strength of your connection with the spiritual world. So there are different strategic placements, and each one offers and specific benefits depending on your needs as a devotee. So let me talk to you through them real quick. First, we got the spiritual bowl. Let's talk about the spiritual bowl real quick. Water is a fundamental energy conductor in Spiritism. Its purifying power, it's essential to our practice, whether you use holy water, spring water, river water, sea water, mixed water, salt water, sweet water. There's nine different specific waters that you can use in Spiritism, and one is conducted to a different purpose, to a different spiritual commission guide, and uh, a different cup positioning. You know what I'm saying? So one of the most important elements in spiritual preparation is the cleanse with the basin. You know, the palangana, the basin. We use it before a session to cleanse negative energies, to establish a clearer connection with our spiritual guides. Each spirit, each spiritist, I'm sorry, each spiritist can personalize the preparation of their bowl according to their knowledge and traditions, as long as you know the basic rudiments of the bowl. So today we see more flowers used in the spiritual vault, but in the past it was mainly herbs that were employed. One of the most valuable plants in spiritual transmission, both then and now, it's Mar Pacífico, Rompe Saragüey, Espantamuerto, Yo Puedo Más Que Tú, Ceiba, Paraíso. There you go, Ache, Doki Yaya, and many more. You know, Mar Pacífico, the scientific name is, I think it's called Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Hibiscus rosa sinensis. And you might also hear it called China rose or Hawaiian hibiscus. That's Mar Pacífico. Now, the preparation of the bowl is often quick and simple, but it involves, yes, hibiscus. No, but you got to be careful with the hibiscus flowers, Lucero, because there's about 20 different Mar Pacíficos. There's 20 different hibiscus flowers. So that's why I'm telling you I'm sharing with you the exact name of which exact hibiscus, which is the hibiscus rosa sinensis. You know. So we got different types of water in Spiritism. Each type of water has a spiritual use. Let me explain when to use each type of water. Indulge me. Fresh water from the tap is used for individual meditation at the spiritual vault. Then we have river water that is used for development masses of development. Seawater is used for research masses. Indigo water is used for gathering masses. Rainwater is used when making petition for help, special petition for help. Then we have church water or holy water that is used for coronation masses. And if you like the knowledge that I'm sharing with you from the bottom of my heart for free, please share the live, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on my TikTok account. And if you're following me on my TikTok account, I invite you to subscribe right quick to my YouTube channel. When I mean subscribe, I mean follow, guys. I don't mean to. If you want to become a loyal member of my YouTube, I don't mind. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But when I say subscribe to my YouTube channel, I just mean to follow me on my YouTube channel. But you know, YouTube call it subscribers, not followers. That's why it says subscribe. Thank you very much, Pink Glitter, for sharing the life, and Coco, very much appreciate it. So, ladies and gentlemen, well water is used for spiritual court masses. Spring water is it is used. Spring water it is used for grace gift masses. And do what? How do you pronounce this word? Do do do
Do.
what?
Do.
Dual. All right, whatever. Dual. By all means, Pinky. Pink. Mírame, Pink. Pink. By all means. Get badass, ponte chingón. You're funny as hell, Armando. That's okay. I am giving alias to pretty much a lot of all the English fathers to hood. I put them hoodie now to pink glitter. I put her pinky. I'm a mess. I'm sorry. So spring water is used for grace gift masses. Dew water or serenaded water, you know, from La Madrugada water, is used for elevation masses. And each water, me quedé con pinky, for sure, each water carries its own spiritual charge and purpose. Knowing which water to use for each type of work is essential for effective spiritual practice. Each type of water generates a different spiritual transmission, enhancing the energy of the session and facilitating the connection with the guides. This is where it gets interesting. So, this means that the preparation of the basin is an act of purification and spiritual connection. By following the steps, you know, then we can ensure greater energetic harmonization before beginning a spiritual session. When we combine water with prayers, with herbs, with flowers, with incense, with, how do you call that burning smoke? I hate it. My wife loves it to a passion. Incense or salmerio or whatever. Now, as we come to the close of tonight's life, I want to leave you with something important, not just spirituality, but ethically. Sacred knowledge is not decoration. It is not content to be copied, to be repeated slightly or taken lightly. Every teaching you receive from me comes from a lineage, from a literacy, from a book And I don't mean a little $5 Amazon book. It comes from 18 years of hard sacrifice and thousands of hours of reading and proven facts, proven ebos, proven obras. You know, years of study, responsibility. When knowledge is shared, it deserves respect. You are more than welcome, and you have the right to share the knowledge that I'm sharing with you. Not just the right, you you how do you say that word? Tienes el deber. Like you should share the knowledge that I share with you, because if I'm sharing with you a knowledge, it's so you can share with others, so you can save others. But when knowledge is shared, it deserves respect. And respect means honoring its source, its author, and the hands that preserves it. Your duty. There we go, Cookie. Thank you very much. Cookie, I you know, I appreciate your presence so much, because it's one more English follower, and I'm trying to um, teach the English community. But your name, every time I read your username, it's just me desconcentra, bro. ¿Cómo se dice? How do you call desconcentra? How do you say desconcentra? Me desconcentra. It's like I get spiritually misaligned. But that's all right. So, distract. Yes. There you go. Thank you. So, taking spiritual knowledge without giving credit is not growth, it is imbalance. And imbalance, nah, that's all right. You're good. You're good. You're good. I don't mind at all. I seen worse. Don't worry. So, imbalance always shows up somewhere else in life. If what we share tonight resonated with you, if it awakening something within you, know that this is only a doorway. Through my religious and spiritism schools, Spiritism school, and then I have Palo Mayombe school, Aleyos school, only Santero school, Hierbas en Planta school, and then if you subscribe to 2 of my schools, I give you the singing for free. The Cantos and Rezos, that is $90 a month, I give it to you completely for free. Through my religious Spiritism school and through my books and through my readings, you can get a reading with me at my personal website. If you want your first year, tu consulta del año, your first reading of the year, which is the most important reading, now you can separate your spot in my website, because the reading's about to be closed, but I think we still have a couple of spots left. david@aggayu.com. So, with that being said, what I mean by this, these teachings are well structured and transmitted with responsibility, with ethics, with spiritual order, with results, so they don't get lost, distorted, or misused. Remember this, guys. Remember this. True spirituality doesn't rush. True wisdom doesn't steal. True destiny aligns. Tomorrow we will go even deeper. Tomorrow I'm going to do another Spiritism life. I'm going to go deeper tomorrow. Tomorrow's life will be more revealing, more precise, more transformative, because we will connect what you felt tonight with what you must understand on the next step. If your Ori was listening today, make sure you're here tomorrow, because until then, walk in clarity, Walk in respect. Above all, walk in alignment, guys. Walk in alignments. Betty is like, I am in the 7 schools. Nice. Nice, nice, Betty. Yes, I know a lot of you guys are in 5, 6, 7 schools. Now, I want to open the chat for English speakers. This is this is an exercise. This is an exercise I want to do to reach out more for the community, for the English community speaking. Now that I finish the content, goodbye Instagram and goodbye YouTube. I want to stay only with YouTube and TikTok, but I would like to open. I usually don't how do you call that? I usually don't put nobody in my TikTok lives, but since this is a new exercise that I want to do, and maybe by doing this, you guys can share the life a little more. You guys can tell your peeps and your friends to come over and just spare some knowledge, spare some spiritual knowledge. Let's talk about Palo. Let's talk about Orisha. Let's talk about Spiritism. And if you guys want to join the live, you can ask for camera. You can come up, but not to tell me how great I am or nothing like that, guys. I know you guys been following me for a while now. Don't It's to share. If you guys want to share your experience, if you guys, yes, Coco, because every time I invite the community to come up, they start telling me, oh, you're great, and I've been following you for years now. I know all that. The point for you guys to come out in my life in TikTok is so we can all share, and your friends, you share this to your friends and the friends of your friends and the friends of your friends, and the word spreads out. I need you guys to help me to spread out the word that you have a priest that's doing new content in English, religious good content in English. And this is gonna be right about the only way I'm gonna be able to do this a little faster. I'm just trying to use some tactics, creative tactics. Okay, well, you got me. Okay, perfect. Now, if I don't want to press on you guys' name and kind of like make you come to the live, but I see all of you guys' name connected here. But if you guys wish to join the live from TikTok, you guys are more than welcome to ask. ¿Cómo se dice? Like to come up. How do you call that? Um, how do you like ask for camera request? Yeah, you can request to join the live, and we can chat a little while. We're not, nobody's gonna chat about who knows more and what knows what and what practice is better. We just want to talk about little about spirituality, spiritism, like good vibes. I want good vibes, guys. The first person that comes with a negative vibes, I'm gonna block his ass or her, for that matter. Good vibes. I want good vibes. So you can request um here. You can request to join the live here on TikTok. How to become a good spiritist. A spiritist. This has been a great life. It's been a hell of a life. So now I'm giving opportunity to the English community people. If you guys want to join the live, you guys can request the camera. I'll hop on for a bit. I mean, I guess so you can break the ice, because no one, guys, don't be shy. It's all right. Don't be shy. Just let it happen. Like Chris Tucker says, let it happen. We're all brothers. We're all sisters. We're all part of the same spiritual entity universe, and we're all in the same flow. I am Omogun. I can clear the path. I'm not seeing the request button though. Yes, you can. You will be the great. You will be a great option to clear the path, being a child of a goon. So let me see. Uh, mirror, mute the microphone. You can. Let me see. Allow requests. Okay. So I'm going to put allow request only from followers, so you should be able to see the request if you follow me. I'll auto request accepted. Let me see. Obat needs to request you. Oh, I need to request you guys? Why? Okay, oh, Hoodie, I'm requesting you. Coco, I'm requesting you. I'm requesting everyone then. You shouldn't say anything, Coco. Coco, I'm inviting. Okay. No, shut up. I don't want to talk to AI. I don't need to talk to Pink, I'm inviting you. Lucero, I'm inviting. Oh, now I'm inviting everybody. I didn't even know I can invite people. I don't know much about this. Okay, let me see. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can everybody hear me pretty good?
Pretty good, brother. Pretty good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I will not sing your praises too much, Baba. I'll give my experience. Yeah, Spiritism was probably the first spirituality. You know, I have a background coming from a cult. I used to be a Jehovah's Witness, which is a high control group, you know, and from going from that to then finding more ancestral, I guess, methods. I figured out, you know, Orisha was kind of closed, so I went to Spiritism because that's on Caribbean. My mom's from Bahamas, so I was looking up different spiritualities in the Caribbean. And I actually read or had the Spirits book by Alan Kardec recited to me, and it was just like a bunch of realization bombs was just going off in my head, and it was this very beautiful thing. Because the big thing with Jehovah's Witnesses is they don't believe the spirit exists. They just believe the human body is just a body and there's nothing inside of it. So to have this worldview that kind of gave me a whole new world, you know, for the spiritual was really beautiful. And I really appreciate the doctrine, you know. And I also have my history with my bóveda as well. And he gave me a lot of good information with that, honestly.
Yeah, it's nice. Whenever we see someone that used to practice Jehovah Witness uh, belief or tradition to come to join this spiritual ancestral circle, because I see the change. I have seen the change of some people jumping from here over there and from over there to over here. And definitely, I mean, not because I practice this religion or this spiritual walk, but I see way more results on this ancestral section than in Jehovah Witness, for that matter.
And it's way more empowering, you know, like that was a big part of it was that I felt kind of powerless, you know. And that's like a really good thing that I like about Spiritism is that it also has a lot of, I guess, solutions for grief, you know. Like so much of it, I think, because I've had friends, like I was saying, I've had friends take their lives in the recent past and also just contemplating, you know, death. And if that's going to be it, you know, I think, honestly, Spiritism gives real answers to that. Yeah. I
Definitely.
think it's really powerful.
Oh, the thing is that at the end of the day, when it's important to understand that, you know, at the end of the day, Jehovah Witnesses originated in the United States. in the late 19th centuries, and it's a movement that was emerged from the Bible study movement rather than from an ancient church or lineage. And specifically in Pennsylvania, that's where Jehovah's Witness was born in the 1870s, early 1880s. From, I believe his name was, if I can recall, his name was Charles Taze Russell, that was born in 1852 and passed away in 1916. And Russell began organizing independent Bible studies groups called Bible students. And these groups question traditional Christian teachings, you know, such as the Trinity, the eternal hellfire, the immorality soul, and their goal was to return to what they believe was original, pure in Christianity. So, in 1879, if I recall, I read in 1879, Russell began publishing the Science Watchtower, the Herald of Christ's Presence, and then in 1881, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society was formed, and that's when the name Jehovah Witnesses appeared. The name Jehovah Witnesses was officially adopted in 1931. 1931. Betty, you don't know nothing. I am more real than you will ever be. What is this? Carlos, eres perfil falso. Okay, Carlos, you are blocked from my YouTube channel because I don't let no one disrespect my followers. Much less my students. So, yeah, and then this happened under Joseph Rutherford Russell Successful, and the name Jehovah Witness comes from Isaiah. How do you say Isaiah? Isaiah 43, chapter 43, verse 10. It says, emphasizing the road has witnesses of Jehovah. Pull me up about. I'm putting. Let me see. Yeah, Coco, of course. Everyone who wants to join the live, you guys can join the live. We're having a nice chat in here.
Blessings. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, dear. Loud and clear.
Blessings. Blessings to all. How are you?
How are you? Blessings, blessings. Cool.
Okay. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. How's everyone doing tonight? Well, this morning.
Good, Coco. Good. Everything is good. I was doing a live to reach those English speaking community, and then I'll probably finish this live like in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then do a little bit of more writing, and then I'll make sure I have to study half an hour before I go to sleep, and I'll probably go to sleep like around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gonna wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning to go to La Botanica. That's my life.
Well, Oba, I'm gonna say that you're doing a wonderful thing. I think that what you're doing, reaching out to the English community, is a wonderful thing, because in this path, whether it's Balo, whether Santerio, whatever it is that people want to call us, we need to reach, to the English-speaking community, because there is a lot of misjudgments out there on what we stand for, and there's not a lot of education, and I'm seeing it, there's a lot of misconstruction out there, and then it's a lot of war, a lot of competition.
Really? In English?
That just confuses a lot of people,
But
and we need a lot of good priests to actually say the truth, not the lies.
But there is like in the English community, there is like gossiping and word like in the Spanish. I thought it was only in Spanish.
No, no, there's still the same thing. You know, it's a lot. I
Okay.
see it. There's
There's
competition,
a lot.
and it shouldn't be like that. There should be a unity, because it's a spiritual warfare. It's not,
I guess TikTok algorithm doesn't show me the English content from the English community. I gotta watch more.
You know why? You know why, Alban? Because before watching you, it was, you were more into the Spanish content.
Yeah.
Now you're branching out to the English, and you're gonna see that when it's the algorithm. You're gonna see how it works.
I think the information is not even is really lacking though for a lot of the English, especially for Spiritism. There's a botanica. I live in Chicago on the south side, and it's a lot of Isheshe practitioners. And there is, especially for Chicago, there is a hybrid of Isheshe and Lukumi. And so they have an interest in Spiritism. And they were doing, like, I don't want to say makeshift misas, but they were learning how to do misas. And they really didn't have too much information. I actually brought my Kardec Spirit book to them. And we were doing that, and we were like doing gospel songs. And we really didn't have, I think, a lot of the doctrine, but the spirit and the willingness was definitely there. And it was still nice to see and be a part of. But I wish there was more knowledge,
Exactly. You know what also we're lacking? Botanicas. It's not I live now, well, I'm in upstate New York, and there's not a botanicas. La botanicas now, there's not a lot of them. They're dying out. I don't see them a lot. I mean, obviously in the Bronx, New York City, there is. But like upstate New York, there's not botanicas. There's not a lot of stuff. There's not a lot of knowledge anymore. It's dying out. So, those that we have to branch out and just learn from each other. Knowledge is power.
I do watch a couple of YouTube videos from certain different. I don't like to mention neither in a good way or a bad way any channels or names of no one, but I do watch a couple of sometimes when I have some 5 minute 10 minute free time of YouTube videos of different religious content of different people, so I can see how they pronounce English words. And it's funny because Reina, my wife, tells me, "You're watching these people live, or are you all right?" But I have to watch English context in English videos in the religious context. It's not the same to watch a Netflix series than to watch a religious life. You know what I'm saying? But some people don't understand me, but I think you get it. I don't know.
I get it.
No, I think your English is perfect. Like you were right. It's better to do it than wait for it to be perfect, especially for the things that most of your pronunciations that you were checking, you had pronunciated right. You know what I mean? You're doing a good job, I think.
Yeah, you're fine.
Thank you, Coco. So thank you, brother. So tomorrow my life tomorrow is going to be the first time I'm gonna explain the full Moyuba, but in English. In English, because I have teach the Moyuba 2 times on YouTube, on my YouTube channel in Spanish, but I have never taught the Moyuba in English. The Moyuba to give coco, to throw caracol de lagoon, or just the Moyuba that an Aleyo can pray. Obviously, the Aleyo cannot throw coco, obvi, either or de lagoon, but the Aleyo can still pray a Moyuba and give an offering, like a food offering, or a jicara with water, an igba with water. Like Aleyos can still pray and can still moyubal, but they cannot use system of divination. And it's important for the Aleyos in the English community to know how much potential they have, because just has the same reason why I'm a I'm hated by some people in the Spanish religious community because I have taught a lot and I have opened a lot of eyes to a lot of people. Now I'm gonna start doing the same thing with the English religious community, English speaking religious community, and yeah, I'm gonna teach you guys tomorrow what is the right the how you can pray Moyuba, the right steps to pray Moyuba, the right pronunciation, the right context, and for how many different things you can pray Moyuba. And the Aleyos are gonna be amazed by how many things you can do with a Moyuba, being an Aleyo. Well, yeah,
What time, Baba?
what I'm sorry?
What time? What time are you gonna go on live tomorrow?
I'm gonna go live tomorrow. Every day I do live starting at 9 p.m. Houston time, sometimes at 10 p.m. because Monday to Friday I do my schools from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and then I give the milk to my baby. I change the pampers and so at 10:30, at 9:30 or 10, I start my live, and then on Saturdays and Sundays I go to La Botanica and I do a whole bunch of religious work in a bowl, and I finish at 6. But from 6 to 9, 6 to 8:30, I dedicate time to my babies and family. So then I have a tight schedule where I have to time everything, time to time to time. So yeah, 95% of I have my followers used to the fact that I do my lives in at nighttime. As a matter of fact, now I have very little people connected because I'm doing the lives in English and my followers are not English speaking for the most part, most of them. But whenever I do English Spanish lives, if I do it, it's funny because if I do it in the daytime, only like 50, 80 people will connect. But if I do it at the nighttime, about 200, 300 people will connect because I have gotten my followers to that specific time, and all of 95% of my lives throughout the last 18 years, it's been at nighttime. Yeah, I'm a night person.
Well, I work nights. I work the graveyard shift. I'm there right now. I'm about to get back to work myself. But you'll see me tomorrow. That means, yep.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining, Hoodie. I appreciate your support, brother.
Blessings.
Appreciate it.
Blessings. Bueno.
So
Blessings, Ogar.
blessings to you, Coco. We'll be in touch, and it was great to share with all of you guys. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Good night.
Bye bye. Good evening. So yes, guys. Thank you, Hoodie. Thank you, everyone. Thank you on YouTube. Thank you on TikTok. You guys have no ideas how much this means to me from getting your support. And I promise my content is gonna get better over time. My action is gonna improve um, a little bit more and more over time because I'm going to commit. Uh, I'm committed by doing English lives. I'm committed by doing English lives, and for those of you that speak only Spanish, it's gonna help you guys a little bit also to learn how to speak English a little bit on a slow flow and a different accent. It says Coño Davidito, a life in Spanish. Luis Fernando, yeah, for the next couple of months, it's gonna be nothing but English, my brother. You guys have gotten 18 years worth of my time for free in Spanish, and now I need to dedicate some time to the English community. The English community needs me. They need me. I have a lot of good content and a lot of knowledge and just you know I have 8,500 books worth of knowledge that I have read to share with you guys. I have 18 years worth in the religion to share with you guys, and I can just I think I can do some good to the English community speaking religious people. Thank you very much. And may Aggayu, my Orisha, Aggayú bless you guys a lot. My spirit that is called Hueso Siete Rayo, Hueso and Sasi, bless you guys. And I hope you guys have a nice evening, a nice rest of the evening, and a very good day tomorrow, whether it's at work or family. Cookie says it's very valiente. How do you say valiente? How do you say valiente? Let me see how do I say valiente. Valiente. It's very brave. Okay. Because so Cookie in YouTube says, thank you, Cookie. It's brave what you're doing. Thank you. Mi hijo, my son has heard these past two lives in English and he's excited that Dr. David is speaking English with knowledge. He is 6 and he's tuning in. Oh, I feel so humble and flattered by you permitting, you letting, allowing your baby, because it's practically a baby, and you trusting me. I feel honored that you trusting me, you trusting my content with your son, and I feel very humbled by it. And you see, this is the reason why I have to be better and better every day, because you know I don't really, my focus is not really on the people that has been in this religion for 20, 30, 40 years, because 95% of those people, they don't really care about getting better. My focus are for the people that is starting the religion today, for young kids, for babies, for teenagers, and for, yeah, for some people that has been in the religion for a couple of years now, but it's only a few of them that is really interesting on expanding their horizons of knowledge, wisdom, with the man best, real best friend, which is not a dog. I mean, I love dogs, but the man's real best friend is not dogs, it's books. And that is a fact. Blessings to everyone. See you tomorrow in my YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel. I'm going to show you my YouTube channel right quick. I'm going to show you my YouTube channel right quick. Right quick, right quick, right quick. You see, my YouTube channel is this. My YouTube channel is this one. David Allah Aggayú. I'm even verified because I have the YouTube silver plaque. And this is my YouTube name. So if you're not subscribed and you're watching the live on YouTube, you can press this little button up the top and you will be subscribed. But then you can press that button again. No, you will have to press on my logo here, on the logo, and then press the subscription button and press all. So you will get all notifications. YouTube will let you know when I connect. And yeah, that's free. Now, if you want to join my faithful, loyal members, then that's where you press the join part. But if you just want to follow it, it's the subscribe button. YouTube call it subscribe. Blessings, Veronica. And if you're on YouTube, you can double press the screen a couple of times like that, and that's how you can give a like and a thumbs up. Very much appreciate your time. Very much appreciate you guys giving me your time. Pinky Glitter, thank you very much. Just Okonfo Coffee, that you guys be having some nice ass names, man. Thank you, Hoodie. Thank you, Coco. Thank you, Botanica Oriaté. Thank you, Armando. Thank you, Claudia Baron. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Oloyan San. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Veronica Martinez Osuna, thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Cookie. I'm just going to say your first name. Cookie, thank you very much. Betty, Louis, Chris. Chris, okay, let me answer this question right quick to Chris. Chris is asking me, bro, can you be scratched in palo after Yoko Ocha? Well, you want the simple answer or the sophisticated answer? You want the quick answer? I mean, if it's the simple or the sophisticated, it's going to be the same results. Sophisticated brings more, the whole entire 9 yards of explanations, and the simple one, it's a simple no or yes. The real answer to that is yes. Yes, yes, you can. You could. Palo does not have nothing to do with Orisha practice. Because if you told me that you cannot get initiated into Palo after you crown your Orisha, then I will tell you that you will be dead wrong by initiating into Ifa after Orisha or initiating into any religious rite after an Orisha. So I don't know what's the, these people that have a tendency of being so ignorant in Palo Mayombe that does not have a slightly clue of what en kisi malongo ya shikiriki wa kombata sakan fumba de den como fongo milumba en pemba li siam pemba y un tunde simbe sarama bui hasta mbola njimbe yembere la kunjara hasta kambra munda engo ambana sarabanu en sasi engo mayaka mayombe. No, the principle of practice in Quince Malongo Yaya, Palo Mayombe, which the right term should be in Quince Malongo because Palo Mayombe is a very vulgar, it's a very streetwise, it's a very street name. Yeah, you will not hear from a person that has at least a little knowledge of Palo Mayombe. You will not hear the words that people cannot get initiated into Palo after Osha. I, myself, got initiated into Palo when I finished my Yauraje. I did Osha, I did Aggayú, my mother's Oya. I did not gas crash. I didn't gas crash before my Orisha initiation, and I got crashed the minute I finished my Yauraje. Come to know 18 years later, I'm an expert at Enkisi Malongo Yaya Palo Mayombe priest. But not just me, Reina, my beautiful, lovely wife, who holds my last name and who holds the title of being the mother of my 2 kids. She's initiated into Obatala for the past 23 years, and she got fully initiated into Palo 7 years after she was initiated into Santo. Has a yaya, has a Aggayú and a yaya. None of that little scratching, that spiritual scratching, that jubilación shit that does not exist. Excuse my French, guys. That jubilación crap that I don't know who the hell invented that in Nkisi Malongo Palo Mayombe. For starters, jubilación means retirement. How are you going to get initiated into something that you're retiring? How are you going to retire something and be getting initiated at that center? Jubilación, when you jubilarte, jubilar means retire. For those of you that have not come into senses. So, and my wife has crown Obatala. And you know, they talk all this nonsense about child of Obatala cannot be getting scratched. The godfather that scratched me 18 years ago, he has crown Obatala. And one of the most, and the renowned Palo Mayombe practitioners along history have gotten crowned Obatala. So I don't know what's the issue with Obatala, child's sons of Obatala and Palo Mayombe, but people are very well misguided. You know, you cannot issue a statement when you don't have a goddamn clue of what you're talking about. I cannot speak about Christianity if I have never read the Bible. I cannot speak about Jehovah's Witness if I have never read about their history. I cannot say whether Muslim is good or bad if I have never read their history or their anthropological, chronological history, or the Quran for that matter. And just people have a tendency of just, you know, Obarame, just be talking nonsense all day, every day, because that's just the way humanity is. You can't do this, you can't do that. You cannot give out a judgment about something that you don't have a goddamn clue what you're talking about. Now, if you know your Palo, if you know you're in Kinsi Malongo and you know what you're talking about, then you can say, no, you cannot get scratched after Osha, or yes, you can get scratched. But we have people talking about this, and those are people that they're not even scratched, for starters. So you don't even know what they do inside an initiation of Palo to be saying that defamation of character of Anquisa Malongo, that Palo Mayombe caliente, Palo Mayombe is hot, you cannot get initiated into Palo after Osha. It's just, you know, man, you know, young kids these days, that's how old people used to say, young kids these days. What can I say? I think I answered your question. And there's a lot where that come from. There's a lot where that come from. I can do a live for 4 hours speaking about Palo and why you could get initiated into Palo, fully initiated. Like I got fully initiated, like my wife got fully initiated, and like I have 16,500 godchildren scratched just in Palo. 16,500. And of those 16,000 and plus, I have at least 4,000 people scratched after they got initiated. I even got Babalaos initiated into Palo Mayombes. Christian, for a person that asks but don't follow the channel, I should at least deserve you follow my channel if I'm going to answer that question. I promise I'll answer that question tomorrow. But follow me here on this TikTok page, which is my Botanica page, and also my YouTube channel. I got incited. Thank you, Christian. Appreciate it, brother. And to answer your question, yes, they could get scratched. They could get scratched. At least I have more than 2,000 godchildren that have their sexual preference, and they are scratched by me, and I have saved them because all blood are red. And Kinsi Malongo is the practice of Mother Nature. It doesn't choose sexes. It doesn't choose preference. I got Shango crown and I got scratched after Santo. Of course. All the time. All day, every day. The school of Palo Mayombe is very good, guys. If you want to join the school of Palo Mayombe, if you are scratched and you want to join my school of Palo Mayombe, you will not be deceived. So remember, you can join my schools at my website. And today's live was about this book, how to become a medium in Spiritism. You can get that book in my official website, which is www.davidalagayu.com. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching. See you tomorrow. God bless. I'll be checking out your channel for more. Thank you, Golden. By all means, brother. You have more than 3,000 YouTube. You have more than 3,000 videos and lives on my YouTube channel. Maestro, a este ritmo voy a aprender inglés. For sure, Estrella. For sure. Blessings, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you, really, from the bottom of my heart, for being with me here for 3 hours.